All right, Gyre fans, we will be coming on live. John Piper along with Rick Threlkill here from Globe Life Park here shortly. Make sure you share the stream. Tune in. Love to hear your comments. Rick, how you doing, buddy?
Doing awesome, John. Doing awesome again, John. Fantastic weather today. I think it might even be nicer than it was last week. It's going to be almost 70 degrees. It looks more
it's a little warm here in the booth.
It looks more like a spring game, I think, than it does a playoff.
It'd be an ideal day for a baseball game here at Globe Life Park. Maybe a little windy. I think today, Rick, the wind will factor in. Walking into the ballpark, it was real windy, and I think it's going to funnel through these walkways here. May affect the kicking game and the passing game today.
Yeah, looks like the wind's definitely coming into our faces, but a little bit right to left, so it really might get tricky kicking into this end zone right here.
Well, folks, we appreciate you being a part of this radio network all season long. We're going to kick off. We had a chance to sit down with Abilene Eagle head coach Mike Fullen, and then we also, our weekly visit with Coach Webb is coming up next. Stay tuned. We are 42 minutes from kickoff. Rick, are you fired up, partner?
Man, I am ready for a little bit of Texas high school football playoff action, John.
All right. Well, we'll kick off the show. Y'all stay right there on that radio dial, and we'll be back to bring you live action, Gyre versus Abilene, here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. To give us some insight on the Abilene Eagles, I had a chance to sit down with head coach Mike Fullen. Well, man, hey, just before we get into it, you've been part of the program for 20 years. This doesn't really have anything to do with the game coming up, but you know, just coaching in general, have you seen a lot of changes over the kids that are playing now versus, say, 20 years ago? Just, obviously that was before the social media era and all that. Have you seen much of a change in Abilene with the type of kid that plays for you, or has much changed?
We still have those. We still have the type of kids that we've had. Most of our kids are a mix of well-to-do, and then we have the richest of the rich, and of course the poor. And our ethnic background's pretty mixed. The biggest changes that I've probably seen is not in the passion for the game, but we kind of live in a microwave society where, they want immediate gratification.
Yeah,
I think that's in every sport, but our guys, this group in particular, they've probably been through a little more than most because of the COVID, because, I was diagnosed with colon cancer back in July.
Yeah, I saw that.
I had surgery, so I was out for the first two games, and in dealing with that, and we kind of got off to a rough start, which we had planned for, because we had graduated several seniors last year and not having spring ball and implementing our offense, and so we basically were having to those first three games, counting the scrimmage, were almost like your spring ball scrimmages. And then we had an open week, and then we had our district openers, and had a pretty good gauntlet that we had to go through, our three top district opponents in a row, and we're fortunate to beat Permian, and then we had another off week, and knew we'd have to go 1-0 to qualify for the playoffs. So we'd already kind of been in playoff mode well before district was ever over. And, this team has just come together, and we still have our kids are pretty tough nosed, and you mix that with some talent, you can have a pretty good football team.
Well, Coach, I would like to take a step back and just talk briefly about, I did see that article in the news story about shortly after you were named the head coach in 2019, you weren't feeling well, and I guess it was rolling into 2020, your energy level was down, and you went and got checked out. they discovered, fortunately, the colon cancer, and you had, it sounded like successful surgery. How are you feeling now?
I feel good. I mean, I'm going through chemo right now. I've got started back in September, and I'll do 6 months of chemo. So I'm kind of right in the middle of chemo right now. And, it's the typical, a lot of fatigue. My side effects are, I have a lot of numbness, real sensitive to cold drinks, anything cold. But I haven't really, I've stayed ahead of the vomiting and all that. I haven't had to endure that. But the main deal is just the fatigue of day to day. I have to kind of gear myself up for practices, and then I'll take a break. And you're tired a lot, but then you don't sleep all that well either, because your body's just, has that chemo in it, and it kind of keeps your body off. And I'm the days I'm actually on chemo are not bad. It's the days afterwards when my body's full of it that I typically have like in our first playoff game, it's on a Saturday, and I typically have a chemo crash that day where I'm kind of in a fog and I can't focus, and there's nothing I can do about it. And then the next week's when my side effects, are more prominent as far as just the sensitivity to cold, and my throat is like I have a sore throat when I really don't, and then that just stays with me, and then I kind of get a break where I have some relief, but then I start it all over again, So it's just, it's not anything I can't handle, and now it's just, I just expect it part of my day. I plan around it, but it hasn't in any way affected my coaching or anything in regards to our team.
Well, Coach, I applaud your battle. That was obviously a storyline there. I'm sure the players, the other coaches, the community has rallied behind you, and you're just leading by example. Football's all about adversity. Getting knocked down and getting back up, and you're definitely showing your kids how to get back up and fight. So I applaud you, man. Praying for you. Well, your first playoff game, you put some points on the board, 42-35 against El Paso Eastwood, but then last week was a defensive battle, 12-7. Talk to us about the differences in those games and kind of the style of play. Did you have to gear up differently for each team?
Yeah, I mean, the Eastwood was a spread team, threw the ball a lot, and we actually had gotten, going into the fourth quarter, it was 42-14, and then, you kind of hit that lull where, is it time to start playing some other guys, and we kind of hit that, and kind of probably learned a lesson a little bit as far as Eastwood was a team offensively that they could score in bunches, and they kind of got some momentum going, and so we had to go back to putting our starting players back in, and they got some momentum late in the game, but we were able to hang on, and then you flip that over to playing North Crowley, that's gifted athletically on both sides of the ball, tons of speed. They had players that could, they're home run players that can take the simple play and turn it into 80-yard touchdown. And, the biggest deal for us defensively was adjusting to their speed, because you can't simulate that in practice. And
right.
I thought our guys did after the first couple of series. They adjusted to the speed. We didn't really do anything crazy as far as adjusting our defensive scheme. We just, we're just executing it faster. And I thought our defense played well. You don't see many 12-7 games anymore in any league, because it's such a offensive driven game now that, for our guys to, and the defense is just stay the course, because, at some point, a lot of times you just get frustrated with giving the ball back to the offense and they can't get anything going, but our guys just stayed with it. I told them at halftime, I said, there's really nobody that has taken over the game yet. And I said, we need to go out there and take the game over. And we did defensively, and we gave our offenses enough opportunities to put some points on the board, and fortunately it was enough to beat them.
Well, holding Eastwood to 14 going into the fourth quarter, and then obviously holding North Crowley to 7. Would you hang your hat more on your defense this season? Is your defense really the shining side of the ball this year? Or let's start there. Let's talk a little bit about your defense.
It has, we've run this same scheme for 20 years, and our kids come up through it knowing how to play it, and we're not always as strong defensively, and some of that has to do with personnel. But this year, our guys have probably carried our offense a little bit, with us being slow, getting our, we kind of changed some terminology within our offense and changed some overall revampedness of it, and it, put us behind. And so we were just weekly having to try to get better offensively, and we did, but our defense kept us in all the games. And, our defense just got better and better each week. And, ever since we come out of that work week, which was an open week, we've been playing pretty good defense.
And you run a 3-4, correct?
Yes.
Geyer has switched to a 3-4 this year as well with some of their coaching changes. And has Abilene in the 20 or so years you've been there always kind of been a 3-4 scheme, or have you switched it up over the years?
No, we've always been a 3-4. I mean, when I first took over, we were a 4-2-5. And that was back in 2001. And we just found, and that was kind of when the spread teams were kind of, catching on, nowhere near the level they are now. But we just found that, we would adjust the formations out of a 4-2-5, and then we would adjust to them out of what we call the dime package, which was basically a 3-4, and just found that we were able to adjust things easier out of our dime package. And then I guess it was probably, and we carried that for probably a couple of years where we went back and forth. And then in 2003, we sold out to the 3-4, and really didn't go anywhere to learn it. It's just been an evolving defense. We still have a lot of our 4-2-5 principles built into our 3-4, and probably played a little different than most, but it fits our kids. It fits the type of kids that we're going to have year in and year out. And, it's worked out for us.
Well, Geyer obviously has a big offensive line like they normally do. Are going to try to beat you rushing the ball. They only, I think, had 11 passing attempts last week, and they had 3 players account for over 300 yards, over 100 yards each of rushing. What's it going to take for that Eagle defense to slow down that Geyer rushing attack?
Well, you just got to, you got to fit your gaps. You got to fit well, within their scheme, and tackle well. Tackling is going to be huge, and not allow things to hit downhill. And that's kind of the makeup of our defense. Try not to let things hit downhill quickly, and just playing disciplined football, because they definitely have the capability to be explosive, and then also turn around and grind you out. And we just got to stay the course and play well up front, and fit well with our linebackers.
Who are some of the playmakers on defense that are going to need to come up big Saturday to get a win for the Abilene Eagles?
Well, I mean, obviously all 3 guys on the D-line, it starts with them. And our Jayton Stuckey, one of our inside backers. And, in the secondary, we have 2 safeties. They're not very big, but they play big, Noah Hatcher and Joseph Woodyard. And, I think the key component is going to be our outside linebacker play, with Guzman and Salinas. Being able to incorporate them, because those are kind of your tweener guys that, they're pass, they help in the pass, and they also help in the run game. And so, just adjusting with those guys and having a good play out of those guys.
Everybody been pretty healthy on the defensive side. Have you lost any key players on either defense or offense this season that aren't going to be playing Saturday?
No, not at this point. No. We've been pretty fortunate.
That is good. All right. Well, let's switch gears to the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, your junior quarterback, Abel Ramirez, it starts with him. Kind of talk us through your offensive strategy and what it'll take to put some points, because you're going to have to put most likely 28 or plus points on the board to beat Geyer. They're going to put, quite a few points on the board as well.
Well, I mean, he progressed the whole year. We put him in late last year against Euless Trinity, which is, not exactly what you want. I have to put a sophomore quarterback into, but he played extremely well that last district game against Euless Trinity, and we were looking forward to his progression through the summer or through the spring and the summer, and then COVID hit. So when we got the opportunity to come back, he just took a hold of it and matured a lot. And he's matured each game and it's come up huge, and last week he had to fill in not only at quarterback, but he was also our field goal kicker, because our kicker was out with just a little nagging injury. So he was part of all those scores, in that he made 2 crucial field goals and then threw a touchdown pass.
Oh, wow. That is a neat story. Must be very athletic to throw him back there as a field goal kicker.
He's got a good soccer background.
Talk to us a little bit about your running game, and then finish up both your offensive line and the ground game.
Well, I mean, we got 2 good run backs. We've got Bonzo, he's a power runner, but he's got breakaway speed, and then you mix into King, that's a little smaller, shiftier, but has great hands out of the backfield. Probably one of our better pass catchers when we need him to be, and kind of tag them as thunder and lightning, equivalent to the way Cal Allen was back in the late 80s and early 90s. And, we got Bonzo, who's the thunder, and Dekeem's the lightning, and they've been a good 1-2 punch for us all year. And, with our offensive line has gotten better, throughout the year. They've really a cohesive unit, and, everything starts with those guys. And, I've made a big deal as a head coach to kind of pour myself into those guys, as far as just the mentality and that you need to play with, and the physicalness that you have to play with, and they just responded, and they've gotten better each week as well.
Well, Coach, if we're talking, it's a great venue, Global Life Park in Arlington. Will you guys just roll the buses out Saturday morning, or will you come out Friday night and spend the night?
Yeah, I mean, we're used to traveling early, and it's not going to be anything out of the ordinary for our kids. We're when you live out in this area, everything's a travel anywhere you go. So our kids learn from an early age how to travel and how to travel long distances. And, we put a lot of planning into our itinerary as far as where we're making our stops, and all the way up until we get to the venue, and all the way up into kickoff. And so our guys are pretty seasoned and routine and knowing that. So, having to travel on Saturday is not going to be an issue.
If we're talking an Abilene Eagle win Saturday around 6 p.m., 5:30, 6 p.m. when the game's over, what's it going to take for your team to get the victory?
Well, we've got to execute well on offense, play good defense, and not give up home run balls. And we respect the heck out of Geyer. They're obviously returning from playing in the state game last year, and then when you get to this point, everybody's good. You got to have some luck, but you also have to, I say luck is where, being prepared and opportunity to collide. So, it's just keeping them from getting away from us, keep them, making it a close game, and just execution on both sides of the ball, being able to set up some run game that'll help our passing game and playing good discipline and well tackling on defense.
Head coach Mike Fullen, thank you so much for joining us on the Geyer Football Radio Network. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
You are tuned in to the Geyer Football Radio Network. This is the Coach Rodney Webb Show, brought to you by BudBartleyHomes.com, Marty B's, the Law Office of Kimberly and Shanklin, Cloud Realty, and no one can give us the insight to Geyer football quite like Coach Rodney Webb. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to be on with you guys.
Yes, sir. Well, it's Christmas week, and we're just heading into round 3. A nice early present last Saturday at Globe Life Park with a double overtime win against a tough Arlington team. What a great win for your program.
Yeah, we were sure excited. Arlington was a very, very quality team that played just about their best game. I mean, they really played well in all phases, and it took everything we had to knock them off.
Well, I tell you, Coach, having a healthy offensive line made a huge difference. I mean, you guys pounded the ball on them all day. John and I were I think it was like watching an old-fashioned Southwest Conference game. And we just pounded the ball in the same spot over and over all day and said, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There weren't a lot of explosive plays in the game on our part. But that, as you said, that was exactly the mindset. It was one of those games where, it was never more than a 7-point differential at any point in time. And those are the kind of games that as a coach, you feel like, every possession is critical. You cannot make a mistake on this possession. And so, for us, it probably looked to a lot of people like a very conservative plan, but, it allowed our offense to stay on the field. It kept their offense off the field. And, we consistently ran the zone play, and they just didn't have a great answer. We felt like they were going to play us man coverage all day. Our whole plan was predicated on seeing man coverage because we didn't think that they felt like they could come out and play zone against us and give us the zone play all day. And that's what they did. So that's what we took from them the entire day.
Yeah, it looked like, from a passing perspective, wasn't one of Eli's best days. He seemed to be a little bit off. I mean, maybe he was a little bit confused by the coverage. But if you take away the long tipped pass for a touchdown, which, I mean, to be honest, from our side, really should have been intercepted. And then the one dig route that DeMarcus Howard broke off for a longer run. We just didn't have a lot of success through the air, but he did have 103 yards on the ground. He made the big play diving for the pylon at the end. And BJ and Tyon just each with over 100 yards. I mean, some days you have to win it one way and others another. And, you're part of being a quarterback is being a leader and a senior leader. You got to get it done one way, and he did that way. What we were impressed with, that you might want to comment on, was sort of like the overall calmness I felt like the offense played with. Even when Arlington would strike back, and the game was clearly not going to be one that we could pull away from them. Just the overall calmness, and then, making the big touchdown at the end to win the game. Kicking the field goal to tie was critical. That's another, I believe Michael's another senior. Tell us a little bit about that overall attitude and your senior leadership and the calmness in order to win a huge game like that.
Well, we've had that air about us the whole year. And, as you guys know, you've covered us all year, and we've been in some tight spots during the course of the season, and for the most part, we've responded really well. And so we just feel like right now we've got enough experience at playing close games and finding ways to win close games that I don't think anybody panicked on Saturday. In fact, I praised our kids at the end of the game for the fact that they didn't panic. They persevered and we made the plays when we had to make them, and I've got full confidence moving forward, through this, hopefully a playoff run that's going to last, 4 more weeks. we've got confidence that when the money's on the table and we got to make a play, we're certainly going to do it.
Well, Coach, Arlington had a few big plays in the second half to keep it very interesting. 2 long runs and a pass play that accounted for 3 quick scores. Did they surprise you some with their big play ability?
No. In fact, we knew, and that's what we had to defend against. You had not seen any evidence the entire season of their ability to really just drive the ball, but they're so explosive. They're so athletic offensively, the quarterback, the tailback, and really 3 receivers that all were just exceptionally athletic and had the ability to make big plays at any point in time. And so that was part of, philosophically, offensively, we wanted to keep them off the field. And that's where, we felt like, going 4 and 5 yards a pop, even though we still played at a fast tempo because we feel like that gives us an advantage. We're still able to turn out several long drives. But, you look back and just like they did against everybody else this season, they had their share of big plays where guys got in the open field and they were just impossible to tackle.
Well, defense came up big in overtime. I thought they did a great job containing Chris Sims, especially that last play of the game when Rowan Briggs knocked down the pass to end the game. What can you say about the defensive effort last Saturday?
Oh, we're really proud of how they played. Again, with the exception of, you just take away a handful of big plays, and they really played hard the entire day. A very, very difficult offense to defend. But, we had guys that stepped up and made big plays in big moments.
Well, Coach, you're going to be we're going to be coming back the day after Christmas. But it's really going to be more like Groundhog Day, right? Same place, same time, a different team. But, you talked about the uniqueness of that stadium. We thought it was really cool, right? Like the only difficulty was when the ball was on the opposite side of the field, it was hard for us to play or to give it a play-by-play call because you couldn't tell the exact down and distance. But other than that, we thought it was a great venue. So the only difference is we got a new ball club to face us. So tell us a little bit about the Abilene Eagles. What can we expect to see Saturday?
Well, what I've told our kids this week about Abilene is that, West Texas football is a little bit of a different brand of football. I don't have a lot of experience playing teams in West Texas. I've got to go all the way back to the 2004 semifinals. When I was at Roy City, we played Abilene Wiley in the semis. But outside of that, I can only tell you what I see on film. It's just a little bit of a different brand of football out there. Abilene they're a very hard-nosed, they're a very tough group. They're not the most physically talented group that we've seen this year. But they play as hard as anybody that we've seen. And, that's a proud program with a lot of tradition, state championship, I think 11 years ago. So they're certainly going to take the field expecting to win the game and with a lot of confidence. So, for us, it's going to be a matter of, as I tell you guys all the time, it's a matter of us playing well. And it's about the Guyer Wildcats. But in terms of Abilene, offensively, they're a bunch of formation personnel groups. You're going to get 3 tight end, 2 tight end, 1 tight end, all the way to empty. You'll get a little bit of all that. Their quarterback is a pretty good.
Well, Guyer fans, we are breaking into the Coach Rodney Webb show as we are about 4 minutes from kickoff, joined by my partner, Rick Threlkill. I'm John Piper. Wow, back at Globe Life Park, Rick.
I know, another spectacular day, too, John. 70 degrees. Sunny, shadows starting to cast onto the field as it gets later in the day. Really amazing venue for football. It's going to be a special place.
Yeah, we've got some late breaking news. I don't know if you want to share, Rick. We just found out just a few moments ago the slated starter for the Abilene Eagles is not going to suit up today, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, Abel Ramirez, big-time dual threat junior quarterback, apparently has a concussion. That's unfortunate for him. I'm sure the young man wanted to play today, but really unfortunate for the Abilene Eagles, as we know all too well what it's like to lose your quarterback late in the year when you're trying to make a playoff run.
So we have the Abilene Eagle radio crew right next to us. They've been doing radio for a long time in Abilene, and they shared with us. Now, we haven't confirmed this, but we think we'll see both Fonzo Dotson and DeKing Thomas kind of in that wildcat position.
Yeah, I think you also may get a little bit of Jashari Houston, who's the wide receiver and punt returner as well. I think he's a little bit more of a throwing threat. As I believe he started playing quarterback there when he was young, maybe an underclass. But if we'll pause here, John, I think we're about to hear the national anthem.
Yeah, beautiful. The color guard's coming out. The sun just kind of went behind us. And, man, it's a little windy down there, but a gorgeous day for football.
Yeah, you probably can hear it as we have an open-air booth here. It's really gorgeous, but the wind may play a little craze on our microphone today. All right, another great rendition of the national anthem from the Geyer Band, John, and they're festive again. Got their Christmas sweaters on. The cheerleader or the drill team is in the Santa outfits, so they're festive. We're festive, and I'm happy to be joined today as our full-time spotter and statistician Quincy Horde is out today. We're honored to have Camden Threlkill with us. So Camden, you excited about this first game, official game as a statistician?
Yeah, it feels good. Paycheck's not looking too nice, but just happy to be up here.
Hey, you will work for food, correct, Camden?
Yes.
Well, that's good because that's all you get here in the booth at Geyer.
Hey, I do want to give a shout out. Kyle Rogers also, he's enjoying his Christmas today. He does a great job a lot of times behind the scenes helping us here at the Geyer Football Radio Network, making us sound good. I think we're on the air today, posting comments on either the Facebook page or the Spreaker radio app and let us know how the audio quality is. And I don't think we have any AC/DC to kick off the game, which is a good thing. That is a good thing, Rick. And we've got some soldiers down here below us. That's always a cool thing. Rick, you represented our country and the Army, and we applaud your service as well.
That looks like the Air Force ROTC guys down there, John, and the Air Force Color Guard here as well from Geyer High School. And looks like the coin toss there, Geyer won the toss. They elected to defer, John. So they'll get the ball in the second half. Or excuse me, I meant to say the Eagles of Abilene won the toss and deferred. So they'll get the ball in the second half. It means your Wildcats will get the ball first today, John, and let's see if we can have some exciting fireworks.
Yeah, if you tuned in early, we had Coach Mike Fullen on, the head coach of Abilene. It's a well-documented story, Rick. He is battling colon cancer, actively going through chemotherapy each and every week, and I know that might be the X factor in this game, the team and the community rallying around Coach Fullen to give that extra effort. They're full of athletic players, but not big-time playmakers. So it's going to take a big effort from Abilene to knock off the Geyer Wildcats here this afternoon at Globe Life Park.
Yeah, number 81, Tristan Hall to kick for Abilene. Toe meets leather, and we are underway as that ball is drifting down inside the 5-yard line. And, wow, what a mistake from the young sophomore Bryson Riggs and the Wildcats as he stumbles when he fields that kickoff at his own 2-yard line, John, and that is a rough way to start the game.
You know, let me paint the picture here at Globe Life Park. The sun is starting to drop, but the sun, I think, played a factor in that kick, Rick. He was looking right into the sun, was backpedaling and just lost his footing, and Geyer will start deep in their own territory at the 2.
Yeah, here we go. Stack right formation. B.J. Phillips to the right of Stowers. He's in the shotgun. He's going to take it and fake and fire the slant, and really not a good throw there at the feet of number 4.
Brody Noble was the intended receiver, and they're going to go quick. You know, Geyer tries to get about 80 snaps per ball game.
Yeah, and the handoff inside Phillips, and he does get a little crease. He's out to about the 5. They're about, again, so if we can explain it, we're about 150 yards from the ball here in the new configuration in the baseball field. Although we spoke last week about it, it is gorgeous. Geyer going to come straight to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and about 7. Now Stowers going to look over to the sidelines, check with me, got trips to his right. Resets his protection, takes, and going to try to run a quarterback draw, and he's going to get, oh, what an excellent job by Stowers as he pushes out over the 15-yard line and a 1st down, and he just ran through 3 tackles right there, John.
Yeah, big-time play right there, Rick. They don't have to punt the ball. They move the chains, and they got some life in there. They can open up their offense now. They don't have to just run the ball.
Yeah, Stowers going to take and fake and hand throw out here on the left to Jace Wilson, and he's going nowhere. That play might have lost a little bit of yardage. Let's see where they spot it. Again, we have no idea.
Jace Wilson, after the play, knocks down the Abilene player. No flag, though.
Yeah, Alcorn Livingston on the stop. Yeah, it was a loss on that play, John, of a 1. 2nd down and 11 for Stowers. They go right back to the line. Takes and looks, and again, he's going to run that quarterback draw, and this time, again, he's going to lose another half a yard, John. We're going the wrong direction now. 44, Stephen Leja Mendez on that stop for the Eagles, and senior linebacker there with that play. No time wasted as Stowers takes and fakes and rolls out, and he's in trouble right off the bat, and it is complete but out of bounds. That would have been short of the line to gain anyway, John, and we're going to have to punt. 14, Jaron Talmadge on that coverage there.
Hey, nice job by the Abilene Eagles to come out here and kind of send a message to the Wildcats that they're going to play hard-nosed, right up the gut type of football, and going to force Geyer to really do some things behind that big offensive line today, Rick, and gain a lot of yards on the ground. They're punting from right at the goal line.
Yeah, 40, Christian Horn. I guess they fooled us last week, too, with he changed numbers, the Geyer punter. It gets off a booming kick, but it is caught and returned back over the 50-yard line, John, by number 7, Frederick Johnston for the Eagles. But what a thundering kick there, John, from Horn as he kicked that ball almost 60 yards.
Well, he had the wind behind him, Rick, and I think there is going to be, through these breezeways here at the ballpark, there are going to be some swirls and some gusts that are definitely going to play a factor today that I don't think played a role in last week's matchup.
Yeah, it is going to be Fonzo Dotson is going to take the first snap for the Eagles as they start from the Geyer 49-yard line, and he takes and he'll run the Wildcat on the right side. Not a whole lot there as he's going to gain about 2 yards, and he will be tackled by none other than number 6, Jordan Eubanks. John, it's nice
Good
to
to have
that.
him back. Yeah, he's been out for, at least 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, he has. I think he had a high ankle sprain, and we know how bad that can be.
Coach Webb said he had a good week of practice, and good to see him back on the field.
Yeah, it looks like we got, this time, 24, Jashari Houston. He's going to take, and he's going to roll to the left, and he's got some room, and he's got the corner, John, and he is off to the races, and no one will touch him.
Yeah, no flags down. That ignites this Abilene crew. It looks like the whole community came out from Abilene. They've got a guy up here on the top of the dugout rallying the crowd. And, boy, what a way to start the game for Abilene.
49 yards untouched around the left side, and literally there was nothing but green grass and a pylon in front of him, and he took advantage of it. Snap down, kick is up, and it is good. And with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Eagles play defense tough, and they strike quickly, John. They lead 7-0.
Yeah, sending a message. I think with this win today, Rick, last week Guy only, I think, had 11 passing attempts, had 3 players over 100 yards. I think the strategy for both ball clubs today is going to be to assemble a ground attack and run the ball, and whoever is more effective there is probably going to win the ball game.
Yeah, you could tell that the wind really played havoc on that first kickoff, John. You can see literally, we're not talking about the flags moving. We're talking about the goalposts moving. Now, there is probably at least a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind inside that stadium, and with this sort of open-ended configuration, the wind gets in here and it sort of plays tricks.
Yeah, Abilene gets set to kick off. They're going to be kicking into a wind, so we expect a return here. But what set all that up, field position-wise, Rick, was that filling the ball at the 2 and then falling down. Hopefully Gower will get a nice return here and get some good field position to set up their offense for success.
Yeah, 81, Tristan Hall again set to kick for the Eagles. And he will get his foot into it. This one's going to be in and out of the end zone as Riggs smartly lets that one fly over his head. And the Wildcats will start, John, 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line.
Well, fans, since this is a special place, we have planned to join us at halftime, virtually, of course, legendary voice of the Texas Rangers, Chuck Morgan, to talk about this beautiful ballpark. And he opened this ballpark in 1994, Rick, and he's a Texas high school football fan as well.
Well, how about that? I think most people here are. Stowers now again in the shotgun, got Phillips to his left, going to take and fake and drop straight back and fire out here to Wilson, and it is complete. And the gain on that play, John, will be 11 yards and a first down. Nice throw there from Stowers. Nice route from Wilson. First down.
Yeah, Wilson, the basketball player turned football player. I think he's still going to play some basketball at the end of this season, but back to football.
Yep, Stowers now hands straight ahead. B.J. Phillips, and he pounds, but right into about 3 or 4 Eagle tacklers, John. And this is what Coach talked about, Coach Webb talked about, that really hard-nosed West Texas football. They'll put a helmet on you for sure. Gain on the play, only 2.
And they go fast.
Stowers straight back to the line, takes and fakes and throws out here, and it is complete to DeMarcus Howard. He makes a move, gets away from somebody, gain of about, we'll call it 11 yards, and a first down for the Wildcats. Nice catch and move there by DeMarcus Howard to get away from the Abilene tackler.
Yeah, a lot of these things are the little things the offensive line is doing with their assignments and staying on their man.
Trips left here. Stowers going to take hands straight up the middle to B.J. Phillips. Not a whole lot of running room, but he pounds and twists and gets about 3 yards. Tackle on their number 4, Nathaniel Guzman, made that play. As you can hear the wind whipping here. Trips left for Geyer. They go right back to the line. Stowers going to take and fake and look and fires deep down the field. He's got a receiver open, and it is deflected and picked off. Unbelievable there. Through the hands of 15, DeMarcus Howard, and right into Noah Thatcher. Number 10, Noah Thatcher on the play. Thank you, Camden. And that is going to be a turnover, and that's unfortunate, John.
Yeah, it was a well-thrown ball. Eli Stowers really aired it out, and the ball was the back shoulder. He turned, had it for a moment, bounced out of his hands into the defender. Much like that play we saw last week that went the other way, it bounced in a defender's hands and back to Geyer for a touchdown. Bad break for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it got 24 back in the game. That's Jashari Houston back there. We've seen that kid can really run. So going to have to be a little bit smarter on our assignments here for the Wildcats. Got trips to the left. Houston going to take and fake, and he goes right up the middle, and he's off and running again, John. Wow. And he bursts out up over the 20 to the 24-yard line. Gain of 15 yards and a first down. Tackled by 21, Ryan Yates.
They had, I believe, Tripp set up left. Everybody was moving left, and he rediverted traffic, ran to his right, and a nice gain there. Well-executed play by Abilene.
That's that flash read play out on the corner. Now, Fonzo Dotson now in the game. He'll take the snap. To his right is big number 18, Jackson Wilson, and there's a little bit of a bobble, but he's going to get it back and go right up the middle. John, probably going to lose about a half a yard. 47, Brooks Etheridge has earned himself some more playing time with his outstanding play these last few weeks, John.
Yeah, athletic linebacker.
Knew he
just
had
a
a
junior.
nose for the ball, yeah.
Younger brother of Russ Etheridge, guy, baseball player.
Big power hitting, switch hitting first baseman, Russ Etheridge. Connor State Junior College, yeah. A shout out to Russell. Again, Houston back in the game at
He's
quarterback.
probably at the game.
And he's going to take it. They're going to run that quarterback sweep. And again, Houston is out, and he gets the corner again. This time, Geyer does sort of force him out there after a gain of about, we'll call that 4.5 yards. It'll bring up third down now, John, and not quite 8. Let's see if Abilene is able to.
Yeah, nice job on
least
that
give a
last
threat
play.
of a
The
throw.
running back stuck with his block and enabled a couple extra yards there.
Yeah, Houston now, he's got the gloves off, sends his man in motion to the left side, going to roll that way, and he's going to keep it. He's got room, and he's got the corner, but this time Geyer closes, and that is an excellent play by
Oh, a
Jordan
late
Eubanks.
flag.
Wow, that is a terrible call.
We're going to watch this on the video
Jordan
board.
Eubanks got him high. But
The only thing I can think is a horse collar, perhaps.
Yeah, only because he spun back into him, John. That's really unfortunate right there.
Yeah.
That is not
Very athletic play. Leaves him about 2 yards short of the first down, but let's see what the play caller.
Oh, okay, yeah, sideline infraction. So that'll just be a warning. So that's not it's not what we thought it was. It looked like they were going to call Eubanks for a horse collar, but they didn't. So we're going to be short, John. It'd be 4th down and 2, and they will punt the football.
Yeah, nice job forcing him out of bounds. And early in this game, Abilene with the lead doesn't want to risk giving Geyer good field position, so they're set up at least to punt for the moment.
Yeah, not as much of a threat with 22 back there as 2, but Peyton Bowen has done a good job of at least coming up fielding the ball, which is what his first job is, and he does. And he's going to get it forward. He breaks a tackle, and he gets out on the right. He's going to make a liar out of me. 22, Peyton Bowen is still on his feet and still running hard all the way down to the 33-yard line, and that's a good job, young man. It's almost like you can hear me talking up here, John.
Yeah, what an effort. It almost looked there for just a split second, Rick. He was going to fair catch it. He pauses. He does a little sidestep, eludes a couple tacklers early, and then a big, big play to give Geyer great field position here. With 6:31 left in this first quarter, Abilene leads at 7-0 here at Globe Life Park.
Yeah, you see Stowers. He is in the shotgun, got Phillips to his left, going to take and fake and look and try to throw outside, and that was a dangerous throw and another terrible flag. He did have his arm on the backside of Jace Wilson, but that ball was 15 feet over the receiver's head, and I have seen more. You know, I think our Texas high school officials here, John, are actually pretty good. But I have seen more.
They're going to talk about it here for a minute.
I've seen more bad interference calls this year, John, than I think I've ever seen in my life.
The referee that called through the flag was a good 20, 25 yards away from the action.
Yeah, that's just not a good
they're calling
call.
an ineligible receiver. Oh, they're going to be offsetting.
Yeah, offsetting penalties.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't agree with that play at all. The ball was well over his head and behind him. It really was not a catchable pass. But we'll replay the down as offsetting penalties there. And Stowers and the Wildcats go straight to the line. They got stack formation on the left. They will take, fake, pump. Now going to try to throw down the middle. And he's got Brody Noble. And it is a touchdown. Wide open, number 4, Brody Noble. And he will score for the Wildcats. And we're close to notching this thing here with 6 minutes and 16 seconds to go.
Hey, Rick, Brody Noble, the junior receiver, has been working his tail off, has not had a lot of looks this season, not a lot of passing attempts his direction, but he's going to come up big today.
Yeah, he did that time. And great look and nice fake. Not only the fake of the pump, but also the look off from Eli Stowers. The kick is up, and it is good. And he's going to have to do a lot of that as he gets to college. And with 6 minutes and 16 seconds to go here, John, in the first quarter, let's talk from one of our sponsors.
BudBartleyHomes.com is one of the area's finest home builders, locally owned and operated for over 30 years. 3 new neighborhoods to choose from: Sunset Point, a 1/3 to half-acre Lakeview lots, only a 3 to 4 minute walk to Lake Grapevine's Twin Coves Marina. Watch the Gaylord Texans summertime fireworks show from your brand new home. Low-maintenance single-story homes in Highland Village from the upper 400s, and 2-acre lots are available in Copper Canyon. BudBartleyHomes.com. They can build on your lot or theirs. Bud Bartley Homes has built homes for many of the area's top realtors and other industry professionals. We are confident the team at Bud Bartley will exceed your expectations. Take it from me, John Piper. They built my home over 15 years ago. The excitement is building at BudBartleyHomes.com.
All right. Here we are back live, and the Geyer's going to hit that little pooch kick down inside the 20, but this time, nice job of fielding that by number 7, Frederick Johnson. He gets that ball up to about the 35-yard line, but big 17, Jaden Fugit, made him pay for it, John, as he buried him out there at the 34-yard line.
Well, I was talking earlier, Rick, about Geyer may just try to go with a rushing attack, but Eli Stowers, Coach Webb is seeing some tendencies there. He's had a couple long passes and touchdown to Brody Noble and definitely a catchable ball. So we might see Eli Stowers air it out more this afternoon.
Yeah, deep out to Jace Wilson, too. You know, he started off with that rough little slant pass, but, you know, in retrospect, the guy was kind of covered. He may have just been throwing that thing away. Nice 3 reps right after that. All right, Houston this time going to take, and he does throw it out here on the right. It is complete to number 7. That's Frederick Johnston. So gain on that play of 7. Houston shows that at least he can be accurate on the short routes. That'll keep the Wildcats honest.
Hey, Sharice Thomas tuning in from Beaumont, Texas. Jeff Davis from Tampa, Florida. Hey, let us know how the audio is. We think it's good today, but we always like to hear from the audience wherever you're tuning in from.
Yeah,
appreciate you tuning in.
Please text in and sound off where you're from. We love to hear where our audience. This time, Houston is by himself in the backfield. He's got trips up high on the left. Now he's going to look to the sidelines. Check for me. Second down, and we'll call it 4. Houston's going to take and drop straight back. He's going to run that draw, and he's got room, and he's off on the left side. But what a play by 33 Marquand Pope as he came out of nowhere, diving with the one-arm tackle. He knocks Houston down for only a gain of a yard, and he had the corner, John. If he could have had one more step, that was going to be about a 15-yard gain.
Coach Webb has talked about the big play-making ability of Marquand Pope, and they're just finding him a place to play with Jordan Fugit coming back. They kept him in the lineup.
Yeah, they moved Fugit up to that linebacker spot. Houston now 3rd down, 4, going to take, roll to his right, and he's going to fire, and it is incomplete. And really nobody open there. Good job of coverage. I think Houston missed his window, John. If he'd have put his foot in the ground after about his 3rd step and stuck it up the middle, he had a little bit of room to run, but as Geyer stretched that thing out, they really shut it down. Great coverage, too, in the secondary.
Yeah, Geyer, Coach Heim, we haven't had a chance to visit with him a whole lot this year, Rick. I've had a chance to have a couple phone conversations with him, but first-year defensive coordinator.
Tristan Hall this time as he kicks into the wind. It's floating out to the left, and, huge bounce there. Big break for Abilene. That thing hit out about the 30, and I think they're going to touch it down around the 17, as, again, they're down there about 200 yards away from us. Johnson.
Yeah, he was kicking in the wind. It was like a knuckleball. Looked like, if anything, it's going to bounce backwards, but it takes an unbelievable roll for Abilene. It's going to pin Geyer back, I believe, at about the 16. We're about 175 yards.
Yeah, good
from the ball.
4-yard shot. That's a driver maybe into this wind, though. It looked like. All right, Wildcats up to the line of scrimmage. They're in that familiar stack formation on the left, and they're going to take and fake. Now rolling out to his left and firing to Wilson. And did he get his feet down? Yeah, nice catch there. Nice throw and catch. And Eli looks really good today as he got his feet set and his shoulders square. Fired that out there, gain of 11 and a first down for the Wildcats. They go right back to the line. Again, Phillips to his right. And he will take the snap and will hand to B.J. Phillips, and he pounds it right ahead. He is stuck right in there by number 4. Again, I think that's Nathaniel Guzman. Gain on the play.
Yeah, and they're going quick.
Only about 2 guy right, straight back to the line. Now bad snap, and I got whistles everywhere. We got an official timeout here.
Hey, let me take a chance. Folks that are in our texting community, and if you're listening online, we're going to give away another Marty B's gift card. If you'll text in, if you're on the community text line, and I'll send out a text right now, just text your final outcome, and we need it by halftime. We'll let you do this by halftime. The final prediction of the game and the tiebreaker will be total offense by Geyer, both rushing and passing. We'll give away a Marty B's gift card.
All right, trips left hand straight up the middle. B.J. Phillips, he makes a couple of moves, and he inches ahead. Johnny looks like he got about 3 or 4. Still, it's tough trudging up there in that middle of that Eagles defense. They'll come straight out. Now it's 3rd down and 4, John. He resets B.J. Phillips to the left side of the formation. He's by himself. Now I'm going to set him again. So ready to go. Stowers takes a snap, and he's going to run the quarterback draw, and he's got room, and he runs through a couple of tacklers. He's all the way out to the 47-yard line. It'll be a first down. First down for the Wildcats, and he is tackled by 5, Joseph Woodyard. Right back to the line, so familiar. That wide stack formation on the right. Now Stowers fakes the quarterback draw and throws it just over the outset hands of Dylan Rivero.
I think that's where that wind came in, Rick. The wind is gusting here, and looks like that ball caught a wind pocket and just sailed in the outstretched hands.
Got a flag out here on the right is B.J. Phillips really threw a hammer block out on the Eagle cornerback. I'm not going to speculate here. Let's just see what this call is. The Fishers will talking with the Abilene coach. I think this is probably going to go against the Geyer. And they're still discussing. Yeah, an ineligible man downfield. It didn't look like Phillips did anything wrong on the block itself. So I think maybe the way that they had the receiver stacked, Phillips shouldn't have been downfield. So they'll decline the penalty and take the down. And this time they hand inside to Phillips, nowhere to go. He pounds forward for maybe a half a yard. So that's an interesting play right there. You see that the coach recognizing Geyer's big play capability and not taking that penalty. He'll take the down. I think he'd rather have one down knocked off, John, than have
the clock's moving. 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Knotted up at 7s.
Fake. Stowers rolls right, looking. He's in trouble, and he's going to have to throw this one away. That's a really good job there by Stowers as he throws that incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and about 8. This is going to be an interesting call right here for Coach Webb. He will bring the punting team out. But this is one, John, where you want to keep an eye on this. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. He might not want to use a fake punt here, but having the ball at midfield, 3rd down and 8, it's something that you, at least from a defensive perspective, you got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Coach Webb is known for a little trickery. I've been a little more conservative this year because he hasn't had to be. They are back in pump formation.
Horn's going to definitely kick it. And it is deep, and it will be fair caught there on the 16-yard line by 7, Frederick Johnson. And, John, 2 minutes, 54 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and we've had a couple of explosive plays, and then we've had some punts. John, I mean, the defenses, for the most part, they've played well today.
Yeah, defense, for the most part, healthy. Dotun's not back in the lineup. Of course, everybody's familiar with Deuce Harmon being out for the season. But, hey, next man up. They've got a lot of athletes on the field today, and they're playing well, solid thus far here in this ballgame.
Yeah, 24, Jashari Houston still in there, quarterback. This time going to take hand to Dotson on the left side, and he's eating up, John, in the backfield. He's going to lose a yard. 6, Jordan Eubanks from his Sam linebacker position, and he was in there quick.
Yeah, we hope to hear that name a lot today. Jordan Eubanks coming in. Guy runs that 3-4. Also, Abilene has run that same type of defense, 3-4, for almost 20 years since Coach Fullen came on board. He was a defensive coordinator, then got promoted in 2019 to the head coach, and he's got the defensive mind and going to need to slow down Geyer today to have a chance to win this ball game.
Yeah, now Dotson is in at quarterback. Geyer jumped. It looked like they were off sides, but I don't see a flag, and boy, I think we got away with that one. It really looked like 7, Cooper Lance was off sides, but I guess he timed it perfectly. Hammered the back in the backfield as he just beat the blocker to the spot, John. 3rd down and let's call it 14. Nice play by Cooper. There's a loss of 3 on that.
Yeah, Cooper Lands has an explosive big play capability off that defensive end position, and he showed it right there, Rick.
Yeah, Houston back in the game at quarterback. John, he's going to send his big receiver in motion. He's now unbalanced on that right side, and he's got a receiver wide open, and it is picked off. 21. That's 21. That's Ryan Yates. Excellent job as he came off of his man, John. I think he baited the quarterback there a little bit, and he just picked that off. Excellent job by 21 Yates, diving interception, and Geyer is in business at the Eagle 27-yard line, John.
You know what, Rick? At Globe Life Park, it was almost like he was diving into second base for a steal. He's right about the ball. Is that pretty much where second base would be, I believe?
It would have been right there. Now Stowers in the shotgun. He's going to send Ty Aldridge in motion, and again, the play is blown dead. I don't see any flags. It's like the third time we've had that happen today.
We got your friend Brian Lewis tuning in from Florida as well.
What's Brian doing in Florida? Oh, he's probably down there on family. His family's from Florida. I think his wife Donna's family's from Florida too. So him and JD probably out on the golf course today, I'll bet you, if I know those two.
He probably shouldn't have said that on the air. If somebody wants to do a home invasion at his home while he's in Florida, they got the green light.
Yeah, good luck. I bet his son is there. Good luck if you want to invade that house. His son's
he probably has a tactical plan.
Yeah, his son's
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Former Green Beret. I'm sure he's also head of security for the nuclear power plant there. I wouldn't want to. That's one house I don't think I'd want to try to invade. Now Stowers going to take and fake and throw down into the corner for Wilson, and it is up and out of bounds.
Jason Wilson, big receiver. He had some separation on the defender. Big mismatch there. Wilson goes about 6'4", 6'5". The defender, I think, is maybe 5'8".
Yeah. All right, second down and 10 here. Stowers now going to send Ty Aldridge in motion. Going to run that quarterback draw again, and he's got a hole right up the middle, and he's running, and he spins down to about the 6-yard line. Alquan Livingston there saved the day for the Eagles, but not before the Wildcats are going to be first down and goal from just outside the 6. Stowers going to take and hand to Ty Aldridge. Little hesitation, and he's still spinning and running hard down to the 2, John. It'll be second down and goal from the 2. I'm sure the Wildcats will go right to the line.
Yeah, Rick, back to that last play. Eli Stowers, an elusive runner, getting it done with his legs so far this game.
Now going to hand again to Aldridge. They slam it. He spins and leans. He's going to be short. It wouldn't surprise me now to see a substitution for that big eye. Nope, they're going to go right back to the line, see if they can catch him off guard. 10 Hatcher made that stop just short of the goal line. Going to take and hand to Aldridge. He spins. Did he get in? Yes. Excellent play by Ty Aldridge as he got knocked backwards, but he spun and he lifted over his shoulder and stuck the football over the goal line. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Ty Aldridge, Rick, built like a fire hydrant. Last week, he had over 100 yards rushing, and nice thunder and lightning between him and B.J. Phillips back there in the backfield. You throw Eli Stowers in the mix, pretty tough to stop.
It is. It is. Potent rushing attack. Both of them went over 100 last week. The snap is good. It's held down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good, John. And with 31 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Geyer has jumped back up on top. They lead this thing 14-7. And you got to love the way that the pace of the game is going so far, John. I think this definitely plays into Geyer's hands. Coach Webb, I think realizing that the Eagles are a bit limited offensively, I think it was a very smart play to punt that ball from the 50-play field position. Then he gets the turnover.
Yeah, turnovers. We didn't really talk about it pregame, and we got part of Coach Webb's pregame show we'll play at halftime. A lot going on here today. We're also expecting to have Chuck Morgan on, and I don't think we'll have time today, but we have quite a few fans geared up that want to call in and talk some Geyer High School football. So we may have an action-packed halftime show. Make sure you stay tuned in for that.
Well, good. That's exciting. All right. Get the picture here at beautiful Globe Life Stadium, and the sun is starting to set. Pretty much just the left corner of the end zone to our bottom here still has sunlight. Everything else is shaded. Geyer is going to kick this one, pooch it down to about the 20, And it'll be returned again this time, not quite the 30-yard line. Frederick Johnson, excuse me. And he will get to the 29-yard line, John, and that's where the Eagles will start. 1st and 10 with 27 seconds to go.
Rick, that last, the turnover really is what kind of fracked that opportunity for the Guyer Wildcats. In 7 plays, they went 27 yards for the touchdown to put Guyer on top, 14-7.
Yeah, here you go, John. 24, Houston is in there. Also, number 12 in the backfield. That's DeKing Thomas. Another one we said that we might see from today, or young running back. Houston this time going to take and hand to Thomas, and nice stiff arm to get free. He's out on the right side. He's running out to about the 33-yard line. Excellent stiff arm there on big Rowan Briggs to get loose there. Actually, that was 6 Eubanks that he put the stiff arm on there. And knocked out of bounds by 16 Jackson Foster. Gain on the play 4, John, 2nd down and 6.
Abilene not taking a whole lot of time in between snaps.
Jashari Houston again with King. He's going to roll left. This time we got that thing snuffed out. And number 1, Darius Goodlow from his cornerback spot just comes up and dumps him for a huge loss. All the way back to about the 26. John, it'll bring up 3rd down and 11. And definitely behind the chains, and that is not where this Eagle team wants to be as the clock runs empty here in the first quarter, John.
Yeah, one of the storylines, if you're just now tuning in to the Guyer Football Network, we just learned literally right before kickoff that Abel Ramirez was not going to play today. He's the starting quarterback for Abilene, out with a concussion. So far, we don't know really much about who's filling in at quarterback as far as their passing attack. We know they can run the ball, but I haven't seen a whole lot of pass attempts early in this ball game.
Yeah, I would be surprised. Sometimes it's you have a plan, and I think obviously the Eagles' plan here was to get to the edges on the Wildcats, and they had a lot of success on that first play, the long touchdown. But since then, they really haven't, John. And so I think for them, staying ahead of the chains is important. You might see a little strategy change from them trying to get into 3rd downs and 2s and 3s, something like that. You might see them trying to run the ball between the tackles a little bit more instead of the high-risk, high-reward issues of trying to get to the corner.
Well, hey, just got a text from Quincy Horde. I think he's tuned in from Michigan, I believe. Thank you, Quincy.
All right, here we are. Now the Eagles, they're set to go. And direct snap. This is Houston. He rolls right, looking. He's firing. He's got a receiver out there. He overthrows. Who is that? 7, Frederick Johnson. Yeah, and again, John, that's a switch. Now he's got the wind at his back, and the ball floated on him a little bit there. As you can see, he's going to have to get adjusted to that from throwing into the wind and now throwing the wind at his back. 4th and 11, and they'll have to punt. And again, check that number. Yep, 81, Tristan Hall will kick. Bowen's back at their own 45-yard line. And Hall this time kicks it out to the right side. It's short. This time he won't get that big bounce. And it'll stop dead right there on the 45 for Nathaniel Guzman. Down that ball for the Eagles. John and the Guyer start this second quarter here. They're in excellent field position at the 45-yard line of the Eagles.
Yeah, now with 11:45 left in this first half, with Guyer with a 14-7 lead, Rick, they can establish a nice, really bounce out maybe a running attack here. They've been throwing the ball some, but success on the run that last series, that's what I expect out of Guyer. Right here.
And this Eagles defense is very aggressive, hard-nosed, but we got them outweighed as Stowers pulls it and fires long, and it is incomplete. What a play out there. Check that number. It's 14, Jaron Talmadge. The pass was intended for Bryson Riggs, and he had him beat, and Talmadge just stuck one of those big paws in at the very end as a good pass, too.
Nice pass, deep pass. It was in his arms, and then the defender just knocked it out right at the end.
Yeah, Talmadge.
Great defensive play.
You could see him rake his arms down there. That's a big-time play. Stowers now to the line, he's going to run that quarterback draw, and he's got room, and he sticks his nose up in there, and he spins away. And, one thing about Eli Stowers is he's still spinning down inside the 25-yard line. He is really strong in the lower half. He's a high jumper, basketball player, and he also did all that work to rehab the knee in his legs. You can see it this year, John.
Yeah, multi-purpose athlete. He kept those knees high like he coached.
Now he's going to take and fake and roll out on the right, and he is in some trouble. Nobody open, and he just throws that thing away. It'll be incomplete. And, boy, he's flirting with that one. He's got to get to the line of scrimmage so that it's not an intentional grounding, and that thing just barely got over the line, John.
Hey, that starting offensive line for Geyer, left tackle Nathan Penny, left guard Gabe Blair, Joe Radovan, Ty Johnson, Knox Boyd.
Got some big boys
anchoring
across
that
the front.
offensive line today.
Yeah, Stowers takes and hands inside Phillips. Nice jump cut to the left. And got him a ball's loose, and let's see if they kind of call this a fumble. It is loose, and it is going to be Eagles football. That thing popped out of there. Boy,
wow, that was close. B.J. Phillips was going for that extra yard. He lowered his shoulder, and when he did, the ball popped loose.
Let's check the replay and see if
he
his
was
knees
almost
are
down.
down.
That helmet came in.
No, it's definitely out. That is a perfect tackle.
Yeah, that helmet came in, jarred the ball loose right before he hit the turf. Big break for Abilene here.
Yeah, Mason Dickinson, 48, jumped on that ball, but just a great job of putting the helmet right on the football, John. Face mask up. That's the way they teach you to tackle.
Yeah, so far I think the turnover battle is even at one. One each. Two.
Two. That's
Geyer had
that unfortunate pick. Yeah, it was really just a deflection, just a tough play there.
So this time of year, turnovers usually plays a big role.
So far, Dotson this time hands inside King, and he does a good job there on the left side trying to get some yardage to King Thomas. Let's see, pick up on that play is about 6-7 yards, John. That's a nice little run. Tackle over there by 16 Jackson Foster. But that's the way they want to start, John. Second down and 3. I'll be surprised if we don't see some sort of a play here in between the tackles. Now you got 15. That is Luke Tebow in the game. He's under center. Now he's going to take in hand to King Thomas. And that time we stuffed that out. Looked like they wanted to go under center. And not likely to have the athletic running back and receiver to go under center and take the traditional snap.
Rick, when I was talking to Coach Fullen this week, and I was asking about Luke Tebow, I was just kidding. I said, any relation to Tim Tebow? He said, well, as a matter of fact, Tim's his uncle.
Yeah, cousin. Yeah. Or uncle, yeah. That was an excellent play by Brooks Etheridge from his linebacker spot. Loss of 3 yards on that play. Third down and 8, and again, just not where you want to be. And now they're going to take and roll to the right. And Houston fires. This time it is complete. Going to be close. 19 Ceballos on the diving catch, but I think he's going to be just short, and I would be shocked if they don't punt this football, and they are. 4th down and about a yard. And no, it looks like they're going to go for it, John. And I mean, I think Abilene's got nothing to lose.
West Texas
watch
Wildcatter.
Watch trying to draw them off sides, though, here. You got to be careful if you're Geyer here. You got Tebow. He's in the game again, so he's under center. And he's going to take it, and they're going to run a toss sweep, and it is going to be close, but I think he made it, John.
I think that extra effort, it looks like he got a
King
push.
Thomas got it.
He got a push from somebody behind him as well.
Boy, that's an echo of last week by Coach going for it deep in his own end zone, and that paid off last week, John, and that turned the whole tide on that ball game. Let's see what happens here.
Hey, perhaps we can have Camden scan or Luke scan the Abilene side and see if we have a Tim Tebow sighting.
Yeah, we never know.
Tim might be in town.
Yeah, it's not a college, not a big college football week. Certainly no SEC teams playing today. I know Tebow's on the SEC Today coverage. Now the fake inside, and Houston's going to try to keep it on the right side. Very little gain there. You could see a lot of these plays out of the Wildcat. This reminds me a lot of my oldest son, Preston. They played, let's see, it was, I think, Ryder. Yeah, Wichita Falls Ryder. And it was J.T. Barrett's senior year in high school. And Ryder had a great team. Geyer had a great team. It was looked like it was going to be a huge contest for the district championship. And J.T. Barrett hurt his ankle and missed that game. And Ryder was still a really good team that year. And they came out in the Wildcat, John, and just really pounded the ball between the tackles. 22 Peyton Bowen there knocks down the Abilene defender. Gain on the play about 4. We got 3rd down and 4, John. But if I remember correctly, that game, I think we won about 21-16 or something. But Ryder controlled the whole clock that day, sort of like the way a military academy will do to you. And, Geyer made a big play at the end to win the game. But
Abilene definitely slowing things down here today. The clock ticking. We're at the 7-minute mark with Geyer holding a 14-7 lead here at Globe Life Park.
Houston and Dotson in the backfield, going to send his big receiver in motion, going to roll to his left, and now he cuts it up. See, he saw that little seam, John, and that's what I noticed earlier. And he's going to be really close to the marker. We have that weird angle up here. We've got to watch it. I think he's going to be a little short.
Yeah, he kind of fell down. He probably, if he
4th
stayed
down
on his
and a
feet,
yard.
he's definitely going to get the first down.
Yeah,
the Geyer
they'll go
defense
for it
really
for sure
pursued
here.
that well, but they kind of over-pursued it, enabled him to cut back up for a nice gain.
Yeah, Geyer's gonna roll everybody up in the box here. They got press coverage on the corner. The other 9 men are down in the box. And going to roll to his left side. He does have the corner, but there's nowhere to go, and he's not going to get anywhere close to it, John. And that is a great play by one Goodlow on the short corner. That's what he'll play in college. And I've been really impressed with Darius. I know my son and I a few weeks ago talked about Darius. He came up as a young transfer receiver and into just a loaded Geyer receiver group. And he made the move to cornerback, and he just really worked hard and earned himself a college scholarship, and just love to see that. Stowers and the Wildcats will take over. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. They're going to take and hand inside, and, oh, boy, Tyon Aldridge isn't going to get much at all, and he is pounded there. Check that number. Is that number 5? Yeah, Joseph Woodyard on the tackle there from his safety spot. Geyer back to the line. This time taking a little bit more time, John, but no time off the play clock, and fire the slant behind Riggs, but it was caught. Nice catch. Excuse me, that's 4. Brody Noble instead of 34. My bad. Noble makes a nice catch there behind him, a little tackle over there by 26 Salinas, John.
Yeah,
3rd down and 6.
Good work right there. Abilene's definitely going to try to keep Geyer out of the end zone here. Brings up a big 3rd down and about 5 or 6, like you said, Rick. And
5:28 to go here, John. Trips to the left. A little bit of a stack formation. Stowers going to take in hand. No, keeps it. Nice fake there by Stowers on the read option. And he's going to pick up about 8.5 yards and a 1st down. John, move the chains. That's an excellent fake by Eli Stowers as he rode Aldridge quite a while there. And 5, Woodward had to make the tackle from a safety spot. Now going to throw the loft and a back shoulder fade there. A nice catch. Are they going to call that complete?
They are.
Yes.
They signal it's a catch.
Excellent
Jace Wilson.
catch by Jace Wilson. Stowers on that back shoulder stop route there. Really not a fade. That's sort of that back shoulder stop, and Jace Wilson just made a nice catch.
That's where that long body comes in.
Now got a hand straight up the middle. Ty Aldridge, he's pounding it down to about the 6 or 7. 4:37 to go here in the half. This is a big possession for Geyer. Stowers right back to the line. 2nd down. Snap, hand inside. Ty Aldridge makes a guy miss, but that time well played. 25, I think that is. That's Jayton Stuckey the linebacker, made a play there for the Eagles, maybe a loss of half yard there. It's 3rd down and about 7. I think the Wildcats can make a first down, John, inside the 2. But again, it's really difficult from this angle. The markers are still up, though, so they definitely can make a first down. Trips left, Stowers takes and hands inside, and really nothing. I mean, he's going to get down to about the 5. That's going to bring up 4th down, and it's 4th down and 4, John. I mean, I'm pretty sure that this one is going to be a Michael Mayfield field goal attempt. That was a big stop there by the Eagle defense.
Yeah, Mayfield's been consistent all year. He came up big last week in overtime, keeping the game tied. And this is a chip shot for him.
Yeah, snap, hold is good, kick is good. In 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go here, John, in the in the first half, Geyer takes a 17-7 lead.
We'll be right back after a message.
Thinking of buying or selling your home?
Cam.
Lisa Morris and Shannon Piper with the Cloud Realty team have been serving the DFW area for over 15 years. They specialize in residential buying, residential selling, and work with investors all over the Metroplex. Call them today at 469-300-1109 or go to txcloudrealty.com and check out their 5-star reviews. Contact Lisa and Shannon today to find your next dream home.
Live here, and Geyer's set to kick left to right on your radio dial. Back deep, 15, that's hard to see those numbers. Is that 13? Yeah, 13. 13, Anthony Ramirez back deep, and DeKing Thomas, as well as 7, Frederick Johnson. And Mayfield will kick it deep, and this time it will go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. And the Eagles will start back on about the 25-yard line. You know, Quincy Horde, our normal statistician and spotter, is on vacation here with his family up in Michigan. And this week we're honored to have Camden Threlkill on. I always kid Quincy about having to pay attention and keeping up to date on things as this game's going by. But now, Cam, as you step into this role, it's harder than it looks, isn't it?
It's difficult, especially when you got a couple things going on at once. You want to stay focused, but I'm a football fan too. I'm trying to watch the game. I'm trying to enjoy it. So it's been a little difficult, I will say.
Well, stay with us as we go here, John. We got a snap, and we got quarterback keeper there. It's just like a little quarterback power play there on the left side, and that is 8 Dotson. But so you're having to spot who makes the tackles or the yardage to help us a little bit. But you do want to watch the game, don't you? You get mesmerized.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we do the same thing, calling it. Sometimes, I'm looking all over the field. It's a unique thing to learn. All right, Houston now going to take the direct snap, fire quickly out on his right, and 7 makes a catch and makes a man miss, and he gets it up the field. Going to gain about 2 or 3, John. Not a lot, but this will bring up 3rd down and about 5. This is manageable. What do you think about the perspective here, Cam, in the way Globe Life looks here as it's set up for football?
Well, I said to Luke when I first got up here that dare I say this might be a cooler setup than playing at Jerry's World, in my opinion, especially when the weather's nice. It looks beautiful. It's great. We got a good view from up here in the box.
All right, Houston going to take the snap, now roll to his left, and he's still running, and what a tackle there by 9, Rowan Briggs. Another one of those shoestring tackles, and Cam, they were running right at us on there. It looked like he was going to make the first down there, didn't it?
Yeah, number 7, Cooper Lands.
Okay, there you go. See, you make the play. Look, now not only can you comment, but you can still make the right call on that.
I'm getting good. I'm learning on the fly. I'm getting good, I might say. I've got some time watching Quincy. He's pretty good at it. So
yeah, so it's an interesting perspective up here from the Moose. And John, we got a timeout here on the field, so let's take advantage of that. Hear from another one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back in a minute.
In Denton County, 6 years in a row, she and her team are focused on family law and select criminal cases. As a proud Wildcat herself, she will offer any member of the Geyer community a free initial consultation. Kimberly's primary objective is to deliver outstanding results for each of her clients in the most cost-effective manner possible. For more information and to schedule a consultation, visit shanklinlawfirm.com or call her office at 940-382-8216.
All right, we're back live here. And Tristan Hall for the Eagles back in the game to punt. 22 Bowen back around his own 40-yard line. And Hall gets a boomer this time. That's a nice job by Peyton Bowen, though, as he gets back to catch that ball. Fair caught at the 31-yard line. And beautiful spiral turned over there, John. If he doesn't make that catch, that thing might be inside the 10-yard line there. So excellent job there by young Peyton Bowen. And the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the half, John. And, boy, the Eagles need to make a stop.
Yeah, Abilene, they came in with their starting quarterback out, so they knew they were going to have to make some big plays, and they've done that, Rick, but they got to really stop Geyer from scoring again before half to keep this thing manageable.
Yeah, Stowers now in the game is Pegues, and he's got a huge run there as he breaks free and gets out to about the 50-yard line. That's number 30, Braylon Pegues. And they go right back to the line of scrimmage. Nice to see Braylon get a touch here and there. And right back to Pegues on the corner. And this time he is stopped up there. Number 90 or 80? Let's see. Yeah, number 80, Tavares Mitchell, the defensive end over here, brought him down, no gain. This time Stowers going to fake to Pegues looking and fires down the middle. And nice catch by 15, DeMarcus Howard there. He went up the ladder. Gain on that play is about 18 yards and a first down.
Eli just straight drop back pass, had all the time and completes it. Nice catch.
Yeah, now Stowers going to take and fake and throw outside to Wilson on the slant. That's complete again. Nice little ball drilled in there and got timeout on the field. Got a flag down. A little bit chippy there as I get that call in my ear, and it is Wilson and the defender there. A little bit of still yapping to each other afterwards. Looks like Jason's raising his arms like, what do you want? I caught the ball. He's jawing like receivers love to do. 5-yard penalty. Looks like the Wildcats had an illegal man downfield. So I'll bring up 1st and 15. Going to take and fake. Now on the deep. Oh, Wilson, what a play. What a play there. Great fake, first of all, from Stowers. He had us faked out here in the booth, and then Wilson runs a sluggo, and he just runs wide open into the secondary. That is 40 yards and a touchdown for the Wildcats, and we think jumped out to a little bit of a lead here, John, 23-7.
Yeah, Jace Wilson really coming into his own. He's progressed each and every week, playing with a lot of confidence today, Rick.
Yeah, sorry about the little delay there. But, again, we talked about it last week. We're in the end zone, so you're behind the play as the extra point is up and good. And so it's a perspective that is really you're not used to seeing as a play-by-play guy. And the quarterback's back was to me. I couldn't see anything as he sort of held the fake there. And Wilson had just set that up. He ran the slant, John, on the play right before that. They come back with the sluggo, and he just runs wide open into the end zone. And Eli hit him right on the money.
Yeah, great pass. I tell you, a lot of excitement there. That really ignited the Geyer, not only the players there on the sideline, but the fan base. Blue Crew's out here pretty thick today, Rick, being a holiday the day after Christmas. The band's down on the field getting ready to come out and perform. And just a festive atmosphere here at Globe Life Park. Geyer does take a commanding lead. If they can keep Abilene off the board here with just 55 seconds left in the half, you got to like the position they're in.
Yeah, Abilene does get the ball right to start the second half. It's critical that they try to use these 55 seconds here. because, they've got a double possession. So if they can get down, and I know they've got an excellent kicker. I watched him before the game. And if they can get down here and at least get in field goal range, what a super play there by 8. Logan McDermott down, flying on the corner. He didn't actually make the tackle, but he really slowed the return man up there, and it looks like Frederick Johnson just gets out barely past the 20-yard line. Just another excellent special teams play by McDermott there. 48 seconds, and now I'd be surprised if Abilene really risks putting this ball up in the air, John. They're very limited from a passing perspective here. Just unfortunate for young Ramirez.
Well, fans, stay tuned at the half. We plan to have Chuck Morgan, a longtime voice of the Texas Rangers, join us here live.
Snap. Houston takes and hands on the right side, and that's 12 to King Thomas. Nice gain of about 6, but they're in no big hurry. 47, Brooks Etheridge makes that tackle. A couple substitutions from Abilene. They are hurrying to the line of scrimmage. But clock is ticking now, John, under 29 seconds. I'll be surprised here if they don't stay relatively conservative. And Geyer makes a huge mistake there. I mean, you got the clock running, and you jump off sides there. That's sophomore Ivan Pena makes a rookie mistake there, and just a bad play. He'll learn from that. Worst thing you do is stop the clock. Now, 23 seconds, you give them another 5 yards, John. Now they're almost out to the 40, and they got a first down. And sure as heck, Abilene's going to take a timeout here and talk this thing over. So, John, what do you think about that there as we make that rookie mistake?
Yeah. Unfortunate. Geyer really in control of this game here in the first half. And, to stop the clock, Abilene with a first down now. Only 23 seconds left, so Abilene's going to need some magic to happen to put some points on the board. But, talking to head coach this week, he says they got a lot of scrappy players that can make plays when they need to. So we'll see what they come out with.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see what happened there. You could tell that I think they were going to let that thing run out. And you get a little bit of a break there, and you get out to about the 40-yard line. And coach says, you know what, we might as well use these timeouts, at least see if we can get something on this one play. This might be one where if you've got something cooked up, you might want to give it a shot. You got trips out here on the left, and Houston is by himself in the backfield. He's going to take the snap, drop straight back. Now he's going to run the quarterback draw. And this time he's going to get out to about the 40-yard line. And they're going to go quickly. They're going to try to get every second they got. They got 9 seconds. Let's see what he does here. Going to take and throw. And, that was really dangerous there. As Jarius Goodlow broke right underneath that. And not for his that club that he's playing with on his right hand there, I think he would have picked that one off. But just 2 seconds to go here in the half. And Houston by himself back there, trips on this left side. And he'll take the snap, and he will back up and roll to his right. And he's just really got nowhere to go. Now he's breaking out here on the left again, and he'll fire it. And this one is complete, but that will end the first half as that is caught over there by 13, Anthony Ramirez. Gain on the play is probably 25 yards or so, but it'll be about 35 yards short of anything that would have mattered. And, John, that'll end the first half here at Globe Life Park. And 24-7 Wildcats. I don't know really what to make of that, John. Without Ramirez, Eagles very limited. I don't want to say this game's over, though, because you're still only in 2 scores, really, if away it's a 3-score game, but it's just not. It's still within their grasp, and they get the ball to start the second half.
I talked to Abilene this week about keeping Geyer 28 points or below. They're already at 24, so Abilene's going to have an answer in the second half to slow down the Wildcats. If Geyer keeps up this pace, they're definitely going to be in position to win this ballgame.
All right. Well, with that being said, John, we're going to take this to a break with one of our sponsors here, and then we'll be back with a little bit of an interesting halftime show here.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages. Marty, I've always enjoyed the range of menu items, whether you want to go in there for just an appetizer or a full entree. Talk to us a little bit about the selection there at Marty B's.
Yeah, thank you, John. The menu was uniquely crafted with a couple things in mind, and one thing I'm most proud of is that all of our meats are hormone-free, antibiotic-free, humanely raised, and fed an all-natural diet. So it truly makes a difference in the quality and of the flavor of the food. For example, we're primarily barbecue is what we serve the largest amount of, and so all of our Tex-Mex options have smoked meats that we use to prepare those items. And then we have one of the best hamburgers you'll ever put your mouth around. All of our beef comes from 44 Farms down in Cameron, Texas. We cut our New York strip, our filet, and our ribeye in-house. And then all of the trimmings from that we fresh ground into our hamburger patty. And then we have our buns fresh baked from a bakery down in Houston. Unbelievable burger. And then, of course, the steaks speak for themselves, some of the best steaks you'll ever eat. So our menu is wide in range, but narrow in that it's just super focused on quality. So come out and enjoy salads, steaks, tacos, burgers. We have it all.
Marty, anytime we have friends or family come in from out of town, we always take them to Marty B's place because it's such a great Texas experience, and everybody just loves it. So check them out at martybsplace.com, and we'll see you there. Take care, fans. BudBartleyHomes.com is one of the area's finest home builders, locally owned and operated for over 30 years. 3 new neighborhoods to choose from: Sunset Point, a 1/3 to half-acre Lakeview lots, only a 3 to 4 minute walk to Lake Grapevine's Twin Coves Marina. Watch the Gaylord Texans summertime fireworks show from your brand new home. Low-maintenance single-story homes in Highland Village from the upper 400s, and 2-acre lots are available in Copper Canyon. BudBartleyHomes.com, they can build on your lot or theirs. Bud Bartley Homes has built homes for many of the area's top realtors and other industry professionals. We are confident the team at Bud Bartley will exceed your expectations. Take it from me, John Piper. They built my home over 15 years ago. The excitement is building at BudBartleyHomes.com. Well, fans, we are back, and we're going to have the stats, the Geyer stats, updated from our very own Camden Threlkill. Camden, you're up.
Quick rundown right here. So, to start off, we see Geyer really dominating on all facets of the ball, leading in total yards 262 to just 128. We see Abilene not really without their quarterback, and they got just 16 passing yards, 41. My bad. It looks like in the first half, and dare I say, most of them came from that one last play that we had. So most of the yards coming from rushing. Got 22 attempts for 87 yards for Abilene, and we're going to go. Seems we have 22 attempts for Geyer as well, with 132 yards on the ground. Eli Stowers with 6 for 75 being the leading rusher for Geyer, as Jahari Houston with 11 for 74 being the leading rusher for Abilene. Passing yards for Geyer looks like Eli Stowers is 9 of 17 for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 1 pick we saw on the tip play to DeMarcus Howard. Jace Wilson coming in, leading Geyer receivers with 5 for 70 and a touchdown. Brody Noble with 2 for 37 and a touchdown as well. We saw him get Geyer on the board to start off, and then DeMarcus Howard, 2 catches as well. One big one over the middle for about 15 yards. We got 2 for 23 from him.
Thank you, Cam. We appreciate that. Next, we are going to try to connect with the legendary voice of the Texas Rangers, Chuck Morgan. So stay tuned. We're going to try to connect with Chuck right now.
Hello.
Hello, Chuck Morgan.
You got him.
Hey, John Piper and Rick Threlkill here in the booth at Globe Life Park. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How you guys doing?
Man, we're doing awesome.
Yeah, I tell you, it's outstanding first half here. High school football in Globe Life Park, and I know this place is special to you. Did you ever think that you would see high school football here at Globe Life?
No, not in the beginning, because the way it was designed and built, it was designed to be baseball only. And as things progressed, and it's happened all over baseball and other sports, is to have extra events to when the place is idle. And once I started hearing that type of talk, I knew things were going to change. But in the beginning, no, because it was designed just to be a baseball only ballpark.
Right. Well, I remember as a young man watching the Pinstripe Bowl from Yankee Stadium when they first started playing that. It was always snow on the ground, and I know there was one end zone where, if you caught a pass in the corner of the end zone, it was like crashing into the center field wall. But it's certainly not like that here. What do you think about the setup and how it looks and how the football field fits in here at Globe Life?
Well, they did a good job. I mean, I was, before we moved into Globe Life Field, I got to, through my windows where you guys are probably sitting about right now, I watched all of that take place, and they knew the exact dimensions they wanted to do, and they wanted to fit a football field in there as well as soccer, and then the XFL came along, so they did a real good job of it. I've watched a couple of games there, and it's just like a good ballpark. It's a great place to watch a sporting event. And, they did a good job with it.
Well, Chuck, we're baseball fans at heart. I was at Game 4 of the World Series here at the ballpark when you announced President Bush 41 and 43 walking out with the Ryan Express, Nolan Ryan from left field. When your voice came on the PA system, I think everybody in the ballpark, I know for me, I got goosebumps. And what was that moment like, here at the ballpark?
Well, first of all, to be lucky enough to announce a World Series and then the team that you worked for a long time, they get to be a part of that. That's pretty special. But that particular first pitch is one of my best memories, to have two presidents there along with Nolan, and just very fortunate to be a part of that and see something like that. And that was one of those electric moments, and one of those moments you'll remember forever. That I've had in baseball. So that was a great moment.
Yeah, it was special. I think 40,000+ on their feet, cheering right before the national anthem. Definitely a memorable moment I will never forget. Now, hey, going back to when you opened this ballpark, I believe it was April 1st, 1994. What a great day here in ballpark history. Take us back to opening day, 1994.
Well, I can remember, we moved out of Arlington Stadium, and even, Arlington Stadium was a nice place to watch a game, but didn't have all the amenities and didn't have all the things that we had at that time, the ballpark in Arlington. And, I can remember driving up that morning. It was still dark and on opening day, and just thinking about, okay, you got to take care of the fans' memories today and make sure you don't mess this up for somebody, because those memories, as you guys well know, any type of sports memory that a fan has, those are the best memories in your life, and you don't want to mess that up. So I kept thinking, okay, we got to make this right. But it was a special day, and to have something like that, and then have Van Cliburn do the national anthem. It's one of the best national anthems I've ever heard. But it was fantastic, and again, it's another one of those great memories that you'll never forget.
Well, Chuck, man, it's so awesome. I know you're just a great fan of the game. I know you moved here from Nashville. You had a great career trajectory at the Grand Ole Opry. Was that a tough decision, leaving Nashville?
Yeah, it was a tough decision, because I had a lot of things going on, a lot of things I was doing in television, and then we were on a nationwide radio network at night, and it was a great place to be. But I love baseball, and the opportunity to be a part of Major League Baseball, I didn't want to pass that up. And I made that move. Again, tough decision, but I haven't looked back. And I just have enjoyed every minute of being part of Rangers baseball. And, you know, the thing is, I've got to see a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have seen. Great moments for players, great moments for a team. But it was a tough decision, but as I look back on it, I made the right decision.
Oh, 100%. We're glad you did. Hey, just a couple more questions, Chuck, and we'll let you get back to your Saturday afternoon as we'll return to live second-half action here of Geyer versus Abilene. You know, you had a chance to watch Nolan Ryan play and then obviously work for him when he was running the Texas Rangers. What can you say about your friend?
You know, he's one of the best friends that I've ever had. I mean, he and I hit it off from the very start when he came to pitch for the Rangers. And, you know, Nolan's not a guy that likes to get up and go out and speak at lunches and things by himself. So I ended up getting the great opportunity to be Nolan Ryan's Q&A guy.
You kind of ran shotgun.
No, you know, you really don't have to do a lot of work for Nolan because you can ask 2 or 3 questions and he can tell stories for hours. But
yeah, great story.
You know, it was a great opportunity to watch him pitch, and then for him to come back there and be the president of the club and happened to be the president when we went to a couple of World Series, and he had a great family atmosphere in the front office. And, you know, I just was with him about 2 weeks ago at the National Finals Rodeo. My wife and I sat with him and Ruth at the rodeo one night, and just a down-to-earth guy, great guy to be around, and tons of stories. But for him, you know, when he pitched there, it was great to watch him pitch, and then it was great to work for him when he was the president of the Rangers.
Well, Chuck, I got a little insight. I know we just set this up this morning. Thank you so much again. But Adrian Beltre, one of the Ranger greats, used to throw balls up just below your booth during BP. Kind of one of his little, pregame routines. How many balls did you find during those days in the trash can below you?
They were pretty good. It was him and Michael Young and Ian Kinsler would right after they would stretch and play catch, they would try to throw baseballs into this trash can that was right below the PA booth. And it was funny. One day, Beltre threw one a little high, and I had one of my son's bats up there, and I hit the ball, and I hit it back at him, which was pretty funny. But no, they were pretty good about hitting that can, and I don't know why they quit. I think once Kinsler left, they quit doing that, but they had a lot of fun with that.
Well, Chuck, last question I have, unless my partner Rick has anything. You had the unique opportunity being the PA announcer during this year's postseason here at the new ballpark, Globe Life Field. And I think you worked something like 31 days in a row. I know you and I were connecting back and forth. And, 31 days in a row. Was that right?
Yeah, it was a lot of work, John, but, it was a great opportunity. The Major League Baseball trusted us and our ballpark to host some postseason play, and then of course the World Series. And once they ask you to do something like that, you want to make it right and do everything perfect. And it turned out great. It was like you said, it was a lot of work, a lot of days in a row, but very rewarding. We learned a lot of things, and it was great baseball to watch. I tell everybody I saw more great catches in about 2 weeks than I'd seen in 25 years at Globe Life Park, just because of the way the outfield walls are a little lower. But again, just a great opportunity, great thing. And what's funny about that, John, you guys are doing football today about a week after the World Series, and the Baseball Hall of Fame wanted my microphone. A week later, I'm doing Pee Wee football for my grandson's football game out in Weatherford.
Man, that's fantastic.
So I went from the World Series to Pee Wee football in about a week.
Hey, Chuck, last thing I have, and then Rick Threlko has something for you, but I know it's hard to compare, but the new cockpit over at Globe Life Field versus what you had here. I know the technology's changed and all that. You got your buddy Groobs over there with you. Talk to us a little bit about that, and I'll let Rick close us out.
Well, I got a great spot in the new ballpark, and a lot of it comes from just me talking with the architects about my memories of growing up around public address announcers at Busch Stadium, number 1 in St. Louis, way back in the early 60s. And he sat right behind home plate, and they put me on the main concourse, and I can now interact with fans. And it worked real well during the postseason in the World Series when we had fans in the ballpark. I probably visited with 2,000 to 3,000 people during that time, just talking baseball, and everybody's the same way. They all want to tell you their memories of baseball and growing up and things like that. So that's worked out good, and I got a great spot, great area to come to work in. So, and then and I had a great spot, as you guys well know, there at Globe Life Park. I had a great area there, same type of thing. And you just can't complain, John, about any time you go to work at a ballpark or a football field or anything like that, especially if you're a big sports fan like I am.
Well, Chuck, I have just one last thing, and I'm wondering if this one's special, and that is, were you there to see Nolan Ryan's last no-hitter?
Yeah, I was there. I was in the PA booth at Arlington Stadium, and what was funny about that game was not televised locally, which is hard to believe in this day and age. And what we saw happen is as the game got later, more people showed up at the ballpark. Because back in those days, they would open the gates up around the 5th or 6th inning, let people in free. So we had a pretty good crowd there towards the end of that game. And again, it wasn't televised, but to see something like that, and again, it's one of those things that you don't want to do anything to mess it up in any way, and you're careful about everything you say and you do, but to see something like that, that's a memory again you won't ever forget.
Hey, legendary voice, Hall of Famer Chuck Morgan with the Texas Rangers. Hey, thank you so much for doing this. It's been special. We are literally right behind the dish, what used to be the home plate here at Globe Life Park, and it's been special connecting with you, and I know all our listeners appreciate you coming on here. Hey, you want to give us your famous, the way you open up ball games at the ballpark to wrap us up?
Well, I'll give you one for today, since you guys are doing a little football, and I did this for a Pee Wee football game a couple of weeks ago. It is football time in Texas. There you go.
That's fantastic.
That'll get you through Denton, Guyer, and Abilene. Good luck, you guys.
That's awesome. Right. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
All right. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Man, that is fantastic. Well, folks, we're only about 6 minutes from the second half of action. We're going to hear a couple messages from some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this.
Thinking of buying or selling your home? Lisa Morris and Shannon Piper with the Cloud Realty team have been serving the DFW area for over 15 years. They specialize in residential buying, residential selling, and work with investors all over the Metroplex. Call them today at 469-300-1109 or go to txcloudrealty.com and check out their 5-star reviews. Contact Lisa and Shannon today to find your next dream home.
The law office of Kimberly N. Shanklin voted the best criminal law office in Denton County 6 years in a row. She and her team are focused on family law and select criminal cases. As a proud Wildcat herself, she will offer any member of the Guyer community a free initial consultation. Kimberly's primary objective is to deliver outstanding results for each of her clients in the most cost-effective manner possible. For more information and to schedule a consultation, visit shanklinlawfirm.com or call her office at 940-382-8216. Marty, I've always enjoyed the range of menu items, whether you want to go in there for just an appetizer or a full entree. Talk to us a little bit about the selection there at Marty B's.
Yeah, thank you, John. The menu was uniquely crafted with a couple things in mind, and one thing I'm most proud of is that all of our meats are hormone-free, antibiotic-free, humanely raised, and fed an all-natural diet. So it truly makes a difference in the quality and of the flavor of the food. For example, we're primarily barbecue is what we serve the largest amount of, and so all of our Tex-Mex options have smoked meats that we use to prepare those items. And then we have one of the best hamburgers you'll ever put your mouth around. All of our beef comes from 44 Farms down in Cameron, Texas. We cut our New York strip, our filet, and our ribeye in-house. And then all of the trimmings from that we fresh ground into our hamburger patty. And then we have our buns fresh baked from a bakery down in Houston. Unbelievable burger. And then, of course, the steaks speak for themselves, some of the best steaks you'll ever eat. So our menu is wide in range, but narrow in that it's just super focused on quality. So come out and enjoy salads, steaks, tacos, burgers. We have it all.
Marty, anytime we have friends or family come in from out of town, we always take them to Marty B's place because it's such a great Texas experience, and everybody just loves it. So check them out at martybsplace.com, and we'll see you there. Take care, fans. BudBartleyHomes.com is one of the area's finest home builders, locally owned and operated for over 30 years. 3 new neighborhoods to choose from: Sunset Point, a third to half-acre Lakeview lots, only a 3 to 4 minute walk to Lake Grapevine's Twin Coves Marina. Watch the Gaylord Texans summertime fireworks show from your brand new home. Low-maintenance single-story homes in Highland Village from the upper 400s, and 2-acre lots are available in Copper Canyon. BudBartleyHomes.com, they can build on your lot or theirs. Bud Bartley Homes has built homes for many of the area's top realtors and other industry professionals. We are confident the team at Bud Bartley will exceed your expectations. Take it from me, John Piper. They built my home over 15 years ago. The excitement is building at BudBartleyHomes.com.
Well, we are back live here at Globe Life Park. Got about 2 minutes to go here, John, before our second half action begins. And, I think the tail of that first half really is Abel Ramirez can't play with concussion. I really feel for the Eagle ball players. They have played valiantly. Their defense has played, hard. But when you don't have a big, threat to throw, and that guy already has a pretty good defense, but it's easy to shut the run down, especially the edges when there's no threat to throw the ball.
Yeah, it definitely changes their output as an offensive unit, and I'm sure they made some adjustments at half. It'll be interesting to see what they are. To really, they need to come out here and strike quick against Geyer. If Geyer puts another, 2-3 scores on the board the second half, that should do it the way we've seen things in the first half. But you never know what you're going to get. I say this is the best reality TV or radio there is, live sports, and be interesting to see what they come out with in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if Geyer can get a touchdown in the second half, I'm not sure Abilene can get to 30. That would be a big ask, or they certainly would need to show us something here in the second half that we have not seen up till now. Geyer, they've got to make sure they come out, though, and play a solid second half, because as we've seen in football, football is such a momentum sport, right? You talk about momentum. Momentum can be between plays. It can be between quarters. But it also can be between games, and you don't want to come out stagnant in this second half and play poorly, even if you win, because next week they got a Prosper team waiting for them that proved earlier in the year they can stand toe-to-toe with the Wildcats and slug it out, and this time it'll be on a neutral field, and, they have gotten better. Certainly Prosper has gotten better. I think Geyer has gotten better too, but you don't want to go into that game having played a real flat, ugly half.
Yeah, Prosper played the early game here at Globe Life Park. I think they kicked off at 11 a.m., and they won 27-17, and we'll face the winner of this one next week. We're still not sure the location. It might be right back here. Who knows?
Yeah, you don't know. It's not posted yet. We were talking earlier. It might be a situation where the coaches – there's maybe 2 or 3 places to choose from, and the coaches sometimes flip a coin. I know I've experienced that multiple times at Geyer when you get into the semifinals. if one team is, way far away from the other team, for example, you either do a home and home flip, or you agree on a neutral site. So it might be, it probably is not like that, since Prosper and Dallas are both, Prosper and Guy are both Dallas.
I'll tell you what would be a great venue if it's available, if anybody involved in this decision is listening, is that new McKinney ISD Stadium.
Yeah, that thing
maybe a little closer to Prosper, but
I'd be willing. I'll bet you Geyer would be willing to play there. I haven't been there. I've seen it I've seen it from the highway, and I've seen it on the virtual tour, obviously. All right, get the pictures. We'll start the second half. Geyer in the white and black today, gray helmets, and they will kick left to right on your radio dial to the Eagles, all in black with the gold helmets, and they need to do something now. And they field the ball from their own 9-yard line and head right up the right sidelines, and they're going to get all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Check that. Looks like it might be about the 34. DeKing Thomas on a nice return there. Geyer knocked him out of bounds. They'll start 1st and 10 from the 30. Let's call it 31-yard line. Must have stepped out a little bit earlier. So pretty good field position there for the Eagles to start this thing off, John, and let's see what we get.
Yeah, nice return. Thomas took it and jutted outside, had some running room up the sideline before he's forced out of bounds right in front of the Geyer sideline, but gives him a little bit of spark on that return.
Yeah, you can see Jashari Houston now in the backfield. He's got 2 backs with him. Now going to take the snap and going to run to the right and really just know where to go. But he does escape, and he just cannot, though, get away from 7 Cooper Lands. Another huge play from the senior star, Baylor Bear signee, and that's a loss, John, almost 10 yards. Not the way you want to start.
Yeah, Rowan Briggs. No, it wasn't Rowan Briggs. It was like Jackson Foster made the first initial hit, slowed him down. He had to redirect, and then Cooper Lands just polished him off. And I'll tell you what, Rick, if Abilene's going to focus in on the run, big advantage, Geyer.
Yeah, they're just selling out right now. And looks like Jashari Houston's got his little shoe problem there. He's going to have to call timeout. Coach has to call timeout there.
Wow, an expensive timeout early in the second half to burn for something like that.
Lost some tread on his tire there.
Well, fans, if you're just now tuning in, we just started the second half of action here at Globe Life Park. 11 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third quarter with Geyer leading 24-7. We got Rick Threlkill, Camden Threlkill joining us, Luke Piper, and I'm John Piper. It's kind of a family affair today, Rick.
It is. It's kind of fun to see to experience this with your kids. We've both had them in the booth a couple of times this year, and having both been players. I know Camden said last week it's first time that he's heard the game live. He's heard recordings of us before, but from being out there and playing all this time.
Well, I had to get on them. I looked over there during the first half, and they were playing checkers.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I had to say, hey, cut that out, guys.
All right, here we go. Eagles now 2nd down and 20, John, all the way back inside their 25-yard line. And they're going to need to make something happen on this play. Houston in the shotgun. And he takes a snap and looks straight back. He's going to escape out here on the left. And he is free and running down the sidelines. And he gets back out. We'll call it maybe a half-yard gain there, though. Again, just taking so much depth before he got outside. And just really hard to gain any yardage when you drop back 12 yards. And just so far to run.
Yeah, he's got speed, but just so hard to move it up the sideline with that pursuit. A lot of athletic defenders, even across that front line for Geyer, and I just know where to go. Forces him out of bounds. Going to bring a big 3rd and 15.
Yeah, gain 4 yards on that. It'll be 3rd down and 14, 15. And Houston back there going to take the snap, fake in the middle. He's dropping back. He's rolling out, and he's got pressure. He does avoid the first defender, and he throws complete again, but this is going to be well short of a first down. Gain on the play is about 10, though, Johnny, out over the 35-yard line. But it'll be 4th down and 3 yards to go. And 19, Ceballos on the catch there 4th down and 5, John, they're going to punt.
Yeah, Coach Fullen, he's got a little gamble to him being a West Texas guy, but not a smart move to try to go for it here.
Yeah, Tristan Hall gets a high punt. This one's a little bit short, and it bounces. Not much roll there. Geyer going to take over 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line, John, and I think this is a very, very critical defensive stand right here for the Eagles. I just do not think they can get to 30. So you got to hold Geyer scoreless here in the second half and give your guys a chance.
We got Dustin Hotchkiss that is tuning in, Stephanie Royce, Angela, I think it's Grubke. Thank you for tuning in from Corinth, Texas.
All right, Wildcats going to run onto the field here. No huddle. They'll come straight to the line as Coach Webb's giving the play from the sidelines. They're stacked on the left. And handoff, nope, fake. Looking deep again to Riggs. Goodness, Bryson Riggs running wide open, and that was just 1 foot in front of him. I think Eli needed to put a little bit more air on that one, John. That got a little flat on him.
Well, Geyer was definitely going for the dagger right there. Riggs was open, had about 3 steps on the defender, and I think Stowers just a little amped up. He feels this moment.
Yeah, Ty and Aldridge going to go in motion, and now Stowers going to run and keep it, and going to gain about 3 or 4 yards, John. Let's call it 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5, and this is a critical play right here for the Eagles. Let's see if Geyer goes back to that quarterback keeper, put Stowers maybe in a little bit of an option position.
He's had a lot of success with his legs this afternoon. That would be a high probability play call from Coach Webb right here. Got big Cy Stovall there as a blocker.
Going to take and fake and look and fire down the middle, and he's got 4. Noble, and he overthrows him again. And Noble's 4 yards running free. And again, Stowers overthrew that one, and they're going to have to punt the ball. That was 2 big mistakes there from 3 Stowers.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Rick, we can feel it up here in the booth. We're way up above field level. The wind is gusting. I'm wondering if the wind is impacting things at field level. We see on the goalpost, the little flag's moving a little bit. Can you all tell if the wind's an impact there at field level?
Yeah, it looks like the wind's blowing. Looks like the wind's blowing into my face here as Geyer sets to punt, and this thing is ugly and shanked off to the right and bouncing back this way, and that thing will get stopped down on about the 32-yard line. I think, John, going into the wind, maybe Eli feeling like you need to flatten that ball out a little bit instead of getting too much air on it. It's kind of like hitting a knockdown iron, where you keep it low into the wind. Sometimes the wind doesn't affect it at all, and then maybe that's what happened to Eli there. He just put a little too much mustard on
Rick,
that
you
one.
Got some new sticks recently. I don't know if it was an early Christmas present, but
I did.
Speaking of knockdown irons, how you been playing?
I've been playing actually really well, John. I think I shot 65 last week, which is really good, but then they made me play the back 9, which was disappointing, and things got out of control from there, though. So that's a bad golf joke. But no, I've actually been hitting the ball really well. I do love my new clubs. Not quite that good, but I've been playing well, yeah.
Good stuff. I know our buddy Todd Jarrett just got some new sticks for Christmas as well. He's been
PXGs, right?
He's playing really well, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, it's what golf clubs are kind of like the adult toys, right? I mean, it's you get it, and it's kind of like the Tonka truck when you're 5. You just can't wait to go out and play with it. So here, let's go Eagles, and they are under center again with Tebow. He's going to run to that eye power play there, and that who is that? Is that the King Thomas? And he is just powering forward. Check that. That's Dotson. He just ran right over one of the Geyer defenders. I think that was 16 Foster.
His headgear comes off. Let's see.
He'll have to head to the sidelines, but Marquand Pope jumped
he carried the defense with him for a couple yards.
Yeah, it looked like Marquand Pope was going for a ride there. You usually see Marquand dropping bombs, and that time he got I think he took the raw end of that one. First down, Eagles, they're out past midfield. Again, Tebow under center. He's going to come back. He's going to roll. He's looking. Nobody open. He's going to keep it. He's going to head for the sidelines, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards. Senior signal caller there nobody open. Good coverage in the secondary for the Wildcats there as they tried to run that little bootleg route out the I formation. Looks like they're going to stick with Tebow and stick and run that I formation.
And fans, if the name Tebow sounds familiar, it is. He is the nephew of Tim Tebow. We've scanned the stadium here. We don't have any Tim Tebow sightings, I don't believe.
No, but it doesn't surprise me. The Tebow family, they're missionaries. Abilene, Texas is well known for being a very strong Christian community, so it wouldn't surprise me if the Tebow family is involved in maybe some ministry there in Abilene. You have McMurray there. My son played football at McMurray. That's a Methodist University, and obviously Abilene Christian there. Gain on that play there, about another yard or so. It's 3rd down and 8 for Abilene. I think on the other side of the 50, it's definitely 4-down territory here, so they don't really need to pick all of it up at once, just need to pick up a little bit of it. That one is incomplete as they're trying to throw out there to Frederick Thomas. Throw was a little bit high and off of his fingertips from Houston. He had him open for a second, but just overthrew him a little bit.
Yeah, always tough. He was rolling to his left and tried to throw it back across his body. Just an awkward position to be in. And
smart play, I think, here from Abilene. Is still 7 minutes, 23 seconds to go in the third quarter. And, they're going to play a little field position. You got the wind. Maybe you can pin Geyer deep into their own territory and get a mistake from Geyer, but not a very good punt here from the Abilene kicker, and that thing is going to be stopped down at the 33. That's a big mistake there from the Abilene kicker, and he's getting an earful from his special teams coach over there on the sidelines. Big opportunity missed there, John, from Abilene. And as it turns out, they may have been just better off going for that one.
Yeah, they wanted to try to pin Geyer back. The wind was with them, and just unfortunate. They could have put it back deep. They're trying to pin Geyer back in about the inside the 10, but kind of backfired on them.
Yeah, Stowers now in the shotgun. Tyan Aldridge in the backfield going to take and hand to 20 Aldridge, and he bangs it forward for about 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 for the Wildcats at their own 37.5-yard line. They'll go right back to the line of scrimmage. Wouldn't surprise me to see a few runs in a row here from the Wildcats. No fake and fire out to Rivera, and that is incomplete. Another throw from Stowers behind his receiver, and he caught that ball originally, and then the defender knocked it out of his hands. 3rd down now, and it's definitely a long 5 for the Wildcats, and very little time taken off the clock there, John. I know we like to go fast, but I think sometimes it can be smart as Stowers runs the quarterback draw, and he gets nothing. Geyer's going to turn right around here and punt it. 26, Isaiah Salinas made a great one-on-one tackle on Stowers in open field, and Geyer will have to punt it right back to the Eagles. And John, we didn't even take a minute off the clock there.
Yeah, big play right there. Geyer looks to really establish their running game, start winding that clock down. The clock is their friend right now, and big stop forces a Geyer punt into this wind.
Yeah, if you're the Eagles fielder return man, you got to come up and catch this ball, give yourself a chance. And he again backs off of the ball, and I just do not understand it. And then is going to roll all the way down to the 17-yard line. And it's like college kickers missing and high school return men just refuse to catch the ball. And I'm beginning to think, John, because you see it every week, that sometimes maybe these coaches might be just coaching them. If they don't kick it right to you, maybe they want to avoid the mistakes, muffs that you just don't get enough time maybe to catch kicks. So, because I just hate to think all these kids are doing the same thing unless they're being
the only thing
coached.
I can think of is if you don't field it, you can't fumble it. That's the only rationale behind that.
That's what I'm thinking. That maybe the coaches are just telling them if they don't kick it right to you, then just let it hit the ground. Now Houston going to take and run the short corner this time. He's got a few yards, and he's going to gain. Let's see, what's the yardage there on this play? It's hard to tell. This is so far away until they move the down marker. Yeah, again, only about a 3-yard gain. I'm not sure. These plays look like they're going to gain yardage, but just great pursuit from the Wildcat linebackers.
I believe that was Darius Goodlow forcing him out of bounds.
In Houston, in the shotgun, going to take and fake and look and throw out on the right. This one is complete, and this will be a first down as it's a nice throw to Frederick Johnson. Gain on the play is about 11 yards, John. It's a first down for the Eagles.
Nice route. He just ran underneath. Nice catch, and then ran for a couple more yards, but moved the chains. And we haven't seen much of a passing game from Abilene, and they're starting to throw the ball more here in the second half.
Yeah, it's critical that they make some first downs here. You got to score. I mean, again, you really they're going to have to score 3 times here to win this game, and they'll go back to the I formation. They'll run that power play on the right side. Not much running room, maybe gain of about a yard as the Wildcats pound down inside. Shut that thing down. 21 Yates from the short corner and 47 Etheridge on the stop. Second down, and we'll call it 8. And again, Abilene not in a big hurry. I guess you could imagine with your backup quarterback in high school, it's probably really difficult to run any sort of hurry-up offense. Again, they're in the I formation. They got Dotson deep this time. Tebow under center. Takes a snap, and he's going to toss it to Dotson out here on the left. That little short, it's a sweep, John, but it's certainly not designed to go outside. He instantly is trying to get that inside the tackle tight end spot there, the downhill sweep, and now you got a Guyer player down. Yeah, 22 Peyton Bowen is down on this one. He looks like he's in a little bit of pain, John. Let's take some time here to throw this to one of our sponsors. We'll be back and check on the young man in a moment.
Thinking of buying or selling your home? Lisa Morris and Shannon Piper with the Cloud Realty team have been serving the DFW area for over 15 years. They specialize in residential buying, residential selling, and work with investors all over the Metroplex. Call them today at 469-300-1109 or go to txcloudrealty.com and check out their 5-star reviews. Contact Lisa and Shannon today to find your next dream home.
The law office of Kimberly N. Shanklin voted the best criminal law office in Denton County 6 years in a row. She and her team are focused on family law and select criminal cases. As a proud Wildcat herself, she will offer any member of the Guyer community a free initial consultation. Kimberly's primary objective is to deliver outstanding results.
All right, Wildcats, we're back live there. And looks like there's flags. Maybe a Guyer jumping. Houston's going to keep that on the quarterback keeper, and I think he's going to get a first down anyway. So we may not take that penalty, or the Eagles may not take that penalty. I think it was number 8, McDermott, as he jumped into the neutral zone. Looked like he was trying to come on a blitz from his left side there, John. One of the great things about having your kids in the booth like this is, they're both ex-athletes, and they hear what their dads do. They get intrigued by this, and you get a little bit of opportunity to give them a little bit of taste of what it's like. We're going to let them do a series here or so here late in the third quarter as Houston's going to take and get the corner, and this time big gain, about 13 yards, John. Looked like he hesitated, maybe like he was going up the middle and then broke outside.
Hey, Rick, it was a lot of fun having I think he would have rather been here at the ballpark with us, but Chuck Morgan, a longtime PA announcer and voice of the Texas Rangers, joined us here live at the half if you missed that. And, man, that was a thrill.
It was, and loved asking him the question to end it about Nolan Ryan's no-hitter. We'll get after this play, we'll get right back to it. Tebow is under center again as the Eagles in that deep I formation. He's going to take and run that power play on the right side, and this time, is that 47? 47, Brooks Etheridge just 3 yards in the backfield blows that thing up, John, and they don't start off good there. But I was actually in a Chili's watching another ball game, and he's right. That game was not on TV, a local TV here in Dallas. We were watching another baseball game, sitting at the bar with a friend of mine, and they actually broke in at the last inning, and we got to watch. It may have been even the last 2 innings. They broke away from the game we were watching. But, yeah, I thought that was interesting that it wasn't on local TV at all. Snap, and this time the handoff, and breaking that back against the grain is 8 Dotson, and he's still running, rumbling right down close to the sticks. Tripped up by 21 Ryan Yates there, but another first down and another 10-yard gain from the Eagles.
Abilene just will not lay down. We knew coming in they would fight to the finish, and they're showing a lot of poise and a lot of want to right now. If they can continue in this series and put some points on the board, they're going to be right back in this game, Rick.
Absolutely. And you'll see that Houston still got motion there from the Wildcats. I think maybe they stayed out of the neutral zone there. I don't see any flags, but short gain on that play, John. They're being methodical, steady here. They're not in a giant hurry. But I think if they figure they could score before the third quarter ends here, then you get this thing inside of, 2 touchdowns. Like I said before, they've got an excellent kicker. That way you just need one more touchdown and then field position, put it in overtime. We saw last week, you get the thing in overtime, and anything can happen there, right? You're one play away from victory.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of crazy things in Fallen Guyer football, usually on the good end of things, but
yeah, and this time, nice play there from 7. Cooper lands as he stunts down inside, blows that play up. They try to run like a little inside read play there, and gain is just really short, only about 1.5 yards. 3rd down and 5, John. Again, though, like we talked about, you're definitely in 4-down territory. So the Eagles aren't necessarily thinking 5 here, although they would certainly love to get the first down. But they're thinking 5 yards in 2 plays.
Yeah, 100%. What if they'll draw up a running play? They've had some success on the ground, not quite so much throwing the ball.
Yeah, Tebow again under center, and they're going to run the fake, and they're going to try to throw it, and he is going to throw for the corner, and it is incomplete there as he just sort of threw that one up for grabs a little bit.
Yeah, very dangerous pass. It was a plan fake. He rolls out to his left and then throws it. The receiver stopped for a minute. Then he picked it back up. It was almost intercepted.
Yeah, you got 47.
Darius Goodlow.
Yeah, you got 47. Etheridge is rushing the quarterback there, and he is on the ground holding his knee. You don't like to see that. Let's hope the young man can get up.
Yeah, Abilene showing a lot of respect. They're all on one knee near the injured Guyer player. You say that is Etheridge?
I think so. 47 Etheridge, I believe.
Yeah, we won't try to even guess what's wrong with him.
We'll make sure.
Guyer has a great training staff, and
check the number. They're
he's
getting
getting
him up,
so that's a good sign.
Yeah, he seems to be walking under his own power there. He's limping a little bit, but let's see if we can get him off to the sidelines there. We'll wish him the best on that.
Jana Roper and team doctor out there. He is walking off with some help. Yeah, taking him time getting him off the field. Does not look like he'll return. Again, we don't want to speculate on anything, but
he is walking under his. His first he was getting some help there. He is walking on his own 2 feet there. Let's hope that's not anything serious that will keep him out further than this game. But I don't believe he'll be back today. All right, 4th down and 5 here as the Eagles in a shotgun. They're going to move men to the other side of the formation. Houston is going to take the snap, and he's going to hand, and it's inside, and that is 12, the King Thomas, and he will score, John. Shockingly, cutting back against the grain, and 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We got a brand new ball game. Guyer is 24, and Abilene is 13, and they are gonna. They're gonna. Looks like they are bringing the kicker in, so they'll line up here. Ball be put down at the 10. Snap good, hold good, kick is good. 45 seconds to go in the third quarter, John, and it is 24-14. Geyer, it's a 10-point ball game.
Rick, we were just talking if somehow Abilene could manage a drive and a quick score, it puts them right back in this ball game, and 100%. They've got some momentum now, just trailing by 10 points, and they got something to play for. We talked early in the pregame show. Coach Fullen is battling cancer. He's going through chemotherapy each and every week, and he's showing up, suiting up for this team. And they're probably playing for a little extra. Would love to see them get a win for Coach Fullen. So that's kind of the X factor in this game right now, Rick.
Yeah, that was a big drive right there, John, as you saw the 3 straight first downs and then a big 4th down conversion there for Abilene. So you got a 13-play drive there out of Abilene, and big 4th and 4 there, and they convert. And not only that, DeKing Thomas sticks it in the end zone.
And we're going to be doing an audition live on the air, kind of like our own version of The Voice here, I think, starting the fourth quarter. We're going to put the headset on Cam Threlkill and Luke Piper to give us a little play-by-play in color and give us a chance to go get a hot dog or something.
Yeah, I like that as the pooch kick is up, and it is fielded by Geyer and 21 Yates. He did an excellent job there actually coming up and get that, but he goes nowhere, and he's down at the 27-yard line, and he's a little gingerly getting up there, and that's where the Wildcats will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 47. And, John, you got to think right now, you want to score, but the Wildcats need to – I'd like to see them take some time off of this clock. Certainly this 42 seconds really won't matter here in this quarter, but you got to make a couple first downs. Now you're going to throw wide to Tyan Aldridge, and he's going to get banged down by Daniel Guzman, who just really beats the block of the receiver and just knocks Aldridge down for no gain, John. Maybe a yard.
Yeah, I know Coach Webb is kind of a riverboat gambler. He's seeing some opportunities in the passing game, and looks like he might be going to that.
Yeah, 2nd down and 9, and this time Aldridge quickly, and he'll move forward for a gain of about, let's call it 3. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5, and that'll be the last play of the third quarter, John. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited here for the fourth quarter. Maybe it looks like we're in for a ball game, and you and I'll be back in just a little bit, but we're going to turn this thing over to the youngins here.
Yeah, fans, sit tight. It is the end of the third quarter with Geyer leading this one 24-14. We'll be right back after this message and some new voices here on the Geyer Football Radio Network. I've always enjoyed the range of menu items, whether you want to go in there for just an appetizer or a full entree. Talk to us a little bit about the selection there at Marty B's.
Yeah, thank you, John. The menu is uniquely crafted with a couple things in mind, and one thing I'm most proud of is that all of our meats are hormone-free, antibiotic-free, humanely raised, and fed an all-natural diet. So it truly makes a difference in the quality and of the flavor of the food. For example, we're primarily barbecue is what we serve the largest amount of, and so all of our Tex-Mex options have smoked meats that we use to prepare those items. And then we have one of the best hamburgers you'll ever put your mouth around. All of our beef comes from 44 Farms down in Cameron, Texas. We cut our New York strip, our filet, and our ribeye in-house, and then all of the trimmings from that we fresh ground into our hamburger patty.
Well, guys, we are back. Luke Piper on the call along with Camden Threlkill.
And Eli Stowers in the shotgun. Looks like Ty Aldridge put him back in motion. You got trips to his left. And here comes the snap, a little QB draw action up the middle, and he fights forward for about 5 or 6 yards.
Looks like he's going to have the first down. Eli Stowers. And you know what? We've seen it, Luke, all day. Them boys from Denton are just playing different.
They are, Cam, and they just look built different for this fourth quarter. They look like they're ready for it.
It's a different weight program down there in Denton. It's unmatched.
And so Eli Stowers looking for the call. He's in the shotgun, got Ty Aldridge to his left. Here's the snap. Drops back to pass, deep ball.
And caught. Long pass to Brody Noble. That's a sure-handed receiver. Runs great routes, knows what to do. Always a great target to go to. Brody Noble, he's been in the program, been a Guy Wildcat for a long time, and he's the type of kid. He loves to study.
Yeah, they're running the hurry up. Right back to handoff and up the middle. Probably about 2 yard gain by Ty Aldridge up the middle.
We keep seeing the Webb go to that, not a lot of yards always on those runs, but he stayed true to the run game, wants to pound the ball up the middle, and it takes a toll on that defense.
Yeah, they're definitely managing the clock well with this 2-score lead late in the start of the fourth quarter.
You got to think right here, touchdown in this drive might just ice the game.
Yeah, that's what Webb's thinking, and back in the shotgun. Looks like they're going to hand the ball off, bounces to left, and another 2-3 yard gain by Ty Aldridge.
Good tackle right there by number 5, Joseph Woodyard. Seen him making a lot of plays today, coming downhill, flying. It's a lot to handle in the backfield when you got 2 great dynamic running backs in BJ and Ty, and then, of course, Eli Stowers, big A&M commit.
And here comes the snap, and looks over to the sideline looking for a call. He's got shotgun. QB draw coming up the middle. And Eli powers ahead, and he looks like he has the first down.
And there's another one. Clock's just going to keep moving on right here.
So back in they're hurrying up, back in the shotgun with Ty Aldridge to his left, and he goes for a jump ball to the end zone. Jace Wilson, and he comes down with it.
Uses the big body, 6'5". Jace Wilson goes up and grabs the touchdown, and that's going to put Geyer up 30-14. Extra point will make it 31. And Luke, what do you think, man? That might be it.
That might have just done it with the way this offense from Abilene's working. I mean, I just don't see how they can score 3 times in the next 10 minutes.
And you know what? It's really unfortunate. They've been very one-dimensional today. Just playing without your quarterback, it's always tough. But you gotta give your hat off to these Abilene kids, man.
Here comes the kick, and the kick is right down the middle. It is now 31-14, and we'll be back after the break.
BudBartleyHomes.com is one of the area's finest home builders, locally owned and operated for over 30 years. 3 new neighborhoods to choose from: Sunset Point, a 1/3 to half-acre Lakeview lots, only a 3 to 4 minute walk to Lake Grapevine's Twin Coves Marina. Watch the Gaylord Texans summertime fireworks show from your brand new home. Low-maintenance single-story homes in Highland Village from the upper 400s, and 2-acre lots are available in Copper Canyon. BudBartleyHomes.com, they can build on your lot or theirs. Bud Bartley Homes has built homes for many of the area's top realtors and other industry professionals. We are confident the team at Bud Bartley will exceed your expectations. Take it from me, John Piper. They built my home over 15 years ago. The excitement is building at BudBartleyHomes.com.
And we're back, and they got this little dual kicker system coming up maybe with Mayfield going to kick, and he onside kick coming. Takes a candy hop to number 19.
Nate Ceballos right there, sure-handed.
And Abilene will have the ball around about the 40-yard line. I'll tell you what, Camden, they got to go quick, and they got to have a sense of urgency on this drive.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the quick score on the first drive of the game. I believe it was Jashari Houston went 50 yards up the sideline, but ever since then, it's just no big plays.
Yeah, they look stagnant. Looks like they're just fighting for yards at a time. They needed some big plays here. And here they are, shotgun. He checks to me. Here's a snap. Hand off to number 12. Bounces it to the left, and good gain about 6 on the. Good gain about 6, and they're moving quickly, Cam.
Tackle by number 33, Marquand Pope. Been a huge addition to the Geyer defense today.
And
all year just been making plays, stepping up in that roll-down safety position.
And they're hurrying it up. Back in the shotgun like they've been in all day. And here's a snap. Handoff. Little power, and he breaks loose. He's going to the 40. To the 35-yard line, and Great play right there.
Number 12,
By
King Thomas again, and he was the one who just punched it in down here not too long ago, late in the third quarter for Abilene. He's been making a lot of big plays for him, coming up big.
Yeah, it sure looks like they're starting to kind of figure some things out. Still don't have that passing game in, but hey, if they can run it for 5 or 10, they'll do that every time.
And if there's one thing we've seen about this Abilene team is they're not going to give up. You know, they're moving quickly. They're moving the ball down the field.
They got a lot of fight to them. And here's a shotgun. The King Thomas takes a snap, drops back, and deep ball to the end zone, triple covered, and it is caught for the touchdown.
Wow.
Number 19, Nate Sabalos.
Nate Sabalos, and that is a phenomenal play, Luke.
They drop back. Haven't been throwing it all day. Takes their deep shot, and you know what? They get it.
Right when we talk about it, man, the throwing game hasn't been there, and Jahari Houston, bomb over the top to number 19, Nate Sabalos. And just when we said this game looks like it's going to be over, quick score by Abilene.
They come back, and here's the kick, and it's right down the middle. So we got ourselves a 10-point ball game with 8:26 left. And we'll be right back after a few messages from our sponsors.
What a play. I did not think he was going to. Dude, that was crazy.
The law office of Kimberly N. Shanklin voted the best criminal law office in Denton County 6 years in a row. She and her team are focused on family law and select criminal cases. As a proud Wildcat herself, she will offer any member of the Gower community a free initial consultation. Kimberly's primary objective is to deliver outstanding results for each of her clients in the most cost-effective manner possible. For more information and to schedule a consultation, visit shanklinlawfirm.com or call her office at 940-382-8216.
Yeah. And we're back in beautiful Arlington, Texas, home of where it used to be Rangers, who now play right across the street. So
I believe the Renegades play here. I don't know if the XFL is
I don't know if they're coming back. But
not really sure what happened there.
Here comes the kick. Looks like maybe some trickery here, and no, it's a deep kick.
Eli Stowers
back there, and he fumbles the kick. And
looks like he fell on it.
He fell on it. Very interesting to have Eli Stowers, your quarterback.
I think that was a weird hand. Looks like a hands team onside. Really prepared look right there.
Yeah, might as well have your best athlete back there just in case you go scrambling around.
If I can recall correctly, last 2 years before this year, number 2, Camden Thrillkill actually played that role.
Oh, yeah, sure-handed Cam Thrillkill used to always be back there. I remember that from the
I do remember the lone return man in the hands team.
They must have had a lot of trust in him. And here's the shotgun. He's got trips to the weak side. Here's the snap. Handoff to Ty Aldridge, and he gets thrown down for about a 2-yard gain.
Good tackle in open field there by Alquan Livingston. Last line of defense right there.
And this could be a big drive for Gower. Abilene looks like they're grabbing the momentum. We'll see. Gower's obviously in their high-fast offense, no huddle up.
Still
checking to the sideline. And here's a snap. Aldridge to his right. Drops back. Pump fake. Rolls out. He's got a guy. Throws deep to the sideline and
out of bounds. Man, Luke, you got to think if Eli just tucks that ball right there, he's probably got the first down and then some, sliding down in bounds. Instead, you got a long incomplete pass, stops the clock, and Abilene right here with a third down, chance to get off the field and get their offense back on.
It's a big play, about 3rd and 9 for the Gower Wildcats at about their 25-yard line. And here's snap, sends Aldridge in motion, drops back to pass. Oh, he's got some pressure, and it looks like he's got.
It's complete.
It's complete. First down. He's to the 50. And he trucks forward. Ball comes loose out of bounds. And what a play by Eli Stowers. Looks like he was going to be sacked in the backfield, wrapped up. And looks like he was about to throw it away, but just tosses it down the field.
You had 3 Abilene defenders right there, looks like, with their arms around Eli Stowers. And he just gets it off into Dylan Rivero, and he takes it up the sideline for a first down. And that's a huge momentum flipper.
Shotgun pass and quick throw right back to him, Rivera. And he's not going to get any yards, but wow, going back to that might have been the play of the game, the play before. with just a phenomenal SportsCenter top 10 play by Eli Stowers. There's 7 minutes left in the game. Still the 10-point lead for the Wildcats in the fourth quarter.
And you know what, Luke? That's just the plays you look from your big guys in playoff
and here's
games.
the hand. Eli drops back. Oh, it scrambles around, and he takes his head down. He's running to the 30, 20, toe tip in the sidelines, out at the 15, but there is a flag on the play.
Gets out of the sack again and makes another play. I think we might get a holding call down here on number 5. Jace Wilson looks like he was blocking for Eli.
Yeah, that's what it looked like when he threw the flag. I just don't know what else it could be for. And the score right now is 31-21, Geyer with the lead.
Waiting the call here. Looks like they're discussing. Got Geyer driving down. Right now, looks like they're in plus territory.
Yeah.
At the 48-yard line, 46-yard line. And that is the call we're going to get.
Yeah,
holding on number 5, Jace Wilson.
Yeah, a big receiver maybe just kind of got a little lazy with his hands, just probably held on to his jersey as Eli tried to go by. But
let's check the replay up here at the top.
So great play by Eli to break loose again. And then, we just see a little jersey tug.
That's a tough call. Might have been the right one. You see the hands get outside.
All right, we got a shotgun formation. And Eli drops back, throws over the middle. It is caught for the touchdown. Geyer Wildcats to number 34.
Bryson Riggs, and that's a big play. They've been trying to go to him several times today. You've seen a lot of one-on-one man coverage up top, and finally he gets him there. It looks like he's down a little bit. Might have just had the wind knocked out of him, it looks like.
But big play. Going to be back to maybe, after this extra point, 3-score game. And with 6:33 remaining, I hate to say it's over like I did before, but it's going to be really. There still is a lot of time left, and with some miracles in sight, but it's going to be really difficult.
Well, 1 through 3, as far as quarters go, seem to be a bit slow, but here in the fourth quarter, big jump of offense coming alive a little bit from both sides.
And after that extra point, the score is 38-21 Geyer ahead, and we will go to break.
Thinking of buying or selling your home? Lisa Morris and Shannon Piper with the Cloud Realty team have been serving the DFW area for over 15 years. They specialize in residential buying, residential selling, and work with investors all over the Metroplex. Call them today at 469-300-1109 or go to txcloudrealty.com and check out their 5-star reviews. Contact Lisa and Shannon today to find your next dream home.
And we're back here from beautiful Arlington, Texas. As the sun's starting to go down, it's become a little chilly out here. Cam has thrown on his jacket. But here comes the kick. We got this little 2-man formation. It's a little pooched about the 25-yard line, and he takes it to the right, makes a man miss, and gets stopped about at the 30.
Looks like it was number 7,
Frederick Johnson he's kind of been back there all day, number 7. He looks like maybe other than their 2 main guys, looks like one of their playmakers. Just making plays, and let's see, they should be able to. Their offense has looked a lot better these last 2 drives. So we'll see if they can maybe get that air attack rolling like they had on the last drive. But whatever they do, they got to start moving quick.
6.5 minutes left here to go.
And they're back in the shotgun with that little 2 QB kind of formation in the backfield. And it's the handoff to the left. And he breaks free, and he's going to be down for about a 9-yard gain. Just 1 yard short. I think that was number.
Looks like 8. Dotson on the carry and Jaden Powell on the tackle, number 3.
Great plays. I mean,
good little carry on first down, 8-yard gain.
Blue Crew's out and live. It looks like a neon theme today, and a lot of people showed up day after Christmas.
Luke, I know you were a big Blue Crew guy. How big of an aspect do you think that plays in the games?
After here comes a snap from the power eye, right down the middle, handoff, and he's up, and it looks like he has a first down. And going back to I think the student section can swing the momentum at times. I think if you have a big crowd and, as a player, if you look up after a long game, maybe it gives you some momentum, gives you some life,
and
seeing that they're behind
that.
you.
And it's a little weird too. With the COVID season, a lot of
not as many real fans. We never had a Blue Smurf theme, but here's the snap. Drops back, shotgun pass. He's rolling out to his right, deep pass into a lot of coverage. It's up.
Ooh, almost caught by
almost.
number 7, Frederick Livingston.
It looked like a little Hail Mary type where they just launched that ball up, said a prayer, and hoped one of their players came up with it, and they almost did.
Yeah, the passing games, it's a little better coming alive here in the fourth quarter, but still not very polished, I'd say.
It's got to be tough losing. I mean, obviously, that happened to Guy last year. Losing your starting QB and just having some random player kind of come up and be like, hey, who can throw the ball, who can throw the ball well.
You prepare all week. Coaches, they play Friday and preparation starts Saturday, Sunday, and so when you have a game plan all week and then you're thrown into a situation like that where all of a sudden you don't have your starting guy, it can get really tough.
Well, it looks like there's a holding on the play. This will be 1st and 20 for Abilene. And here's the shotgun formation. He's got 2 receivers on each side. And here's a snap, a little quick pass to number 7, Dotson. And he's out to about yards short of midfield. So got the holding back on that play.
Now that's one thing we haven't seen a lot of today, and it kind of makes you wonder why. You don't really have a strong arm quarterback back there, and they go to a short, quick pass right there, quick 10-yard gain. You wish you would have seen a lot of more of that.
Yeah,
looks like Abilene.
It looks like they're just starting to have their offense here a little too late. And here's a shotgun snap, goes to pass deep, double covered. Lollipop, and it is
almost picked off. Big hit in the backfield by number 6, Jordan Eubanks, laying the wood on the quarterback, Jashari Houston.
Yeah, right now it looks like they're taking their shots, trying to get it deep, trying to get something happening deep with just 4:34 remaining. It looks like
we have a flag on the play. We'll wait for the call. Not really sure as to what that could have been.
Maybe you roughing the passer?
It's a little down the field. Maybe you're thinking pass interference, if anything. And I think that is what we get. Not really sure if I like that call.
I don't. The way it was just thrown up, and I think the receiver was trying to get back to the ball a little bit.
You see some hand checking, but
yeah.
a lot of
times
let them play. That's 50-50. Offensive guys, they get away with a lot more than those DBs will.
So it's going to be a 15-yard pass interference penalty. Not like the NFL where it's the spot of the ball, which would be nice, but they'll take 15 yards. They can get it. So here they are back again in the I formation. Tebow under center. And here's the snap. Little handoff downhill, and he's going backwards. And big loss on the play. Probably about a loss of 6.
Cooper Lance plugging up the gap right there. What a huge help it is to have someone like Cooper Lance on the field. I mean, not only is he a Big 12 Baylor commit, he's also a 3-year starter. That's a lot of football to be played, a lot of playoff games to be played. And
definitely
and
good to have experience.
It's got to help.
Leadership and experience in these big games, it definitely helps when the youngins around him who are maybe a little nervous. They look at a kid like Cooper Lance and they're like, well, let's go play with confidence. If he is, we can. So here's the snap. He's got trips to his left, running back to his right, and they're going to run a little inverted veer. And they give it to the running back, and he is stopped.
Great play by number 6, Jordan Eubanks. And, man, have we said his name enough today.
We have. He looks like he played both defenders just standing there. And the QB really had no right option. Hands the ball off, and he gets stopped by Jordan Eubanks, Florida State commit.
Big return right there. And another 3-year guy for Geyer. And that's just nothing but leadership and experience and games under his belt. And it's a huge help to that defense to get him back.
And then the shotgun again, trips to his left, running back to his right. Here comes the snap. Oh, drops back to throw. Pass over the middle, and it is picked off. Picked off, running back, taking it back, and he's got some blockers. And he's pushed out of bounds. That was
Jaden Powell, number 3, on the tip. And you love to see that. And with 3 minutes to go, Luke, 38-21, Geyer, I think that might just seal it.
And that looks like it will. Looks like Geyer's just going to run out this clock.
A lot of energy from that Geyer sideline. You see the fans loving it. And, Luke, I think I'm smelling round 4.
That's what it looks like. And so now it looks like Geyer's going to start to look ahead a little bit. I think they play Prosper next week.
And I'll tell you what, I went to bed last night, say 2 nights ago, Christmas Eve the 24th, and I said if there's one thing I get for Christmas this year, it's a Geyer playoff win, Luke.
Geyer playoff win. Well, that's what Santa brought. We're definitely going to get this. Looks like they have Jackson Arnold then at quarterback.
Promising future for the Geyer Wildcats. I know there's only 2 minutes left here.
But let's see
I'd
Arnold's
like to see him slinging a little bit. I'd like to see Jackson get back there and let it loose.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see. He's definitely got a big arm center fielder,
two-sport athlete. Yeah, stud.
And I'd like to see him kind of drop back and throw it, maybe running up the score a little bit. But hey, we came here to see points scored.
Mm-hmm. You got C.J. Rice up at the top.
He's got trips. He's got open backfield, drops back, little QB draw. Makes a man miss, stiff arm, and he gets taken down about
number 4, Nathaniel Guzman on the play. And
we've heard his name a lot today,
one of those Abilene guys who just played hard the whole game. And you tip your cap off to a lot of these guys. Obviously a really tough situation, and they did nothing but stick their head down and fight.
Yeah, it would have been a huge different game if Abilene had their starting QB. You'd like to play their best, but as a Geyer Wildcat, you do not mind seeing their backup QBs play. And
it looks like we have a timeout, Abilene. And, Luke, I'm just going to ask you a question here. It's a round 3 win right here, going into round 4 next week, and it's getting really deep into these playoffs. What do you think Geyer needs to do to make that last jump and be a state-caliber team?
I think they just need to keep their foot on the pedal. It looks like today they had chances to just end this game maybe early in the second quarter, and then early in the third quarter, but we just had some missed opportunities, some missed passes by Eli, a few turnovers that kind of kept Abilene in this game late. It's going to end up being a 17-point game if it stays this way, but I think it feels like Geyer won by about 25, 30 points.
I will, yeah, that's one thing I say. It never felt quite as close as what the scoreboard always said, but you saw it this week a little more, letting Eli open up the passing game, and he's a big,
I think that's
big player on their
if
team.
You can
get a little more versatile. You think a lot of athletes out there, you got to use them.
Yeah, if you get that play action pass working, I mean, you can get some open receivers. They got some fast. Noble has looked good. Maybe they can get O'Bara back. I know he's a speedster, and Jace Wilson on the outside can just go up and make some plays for you.
Game for number 5.
Here's a shotgun pass, and it looks like a little screen, and it is almost picked off.
Incomplete. Number 25, it looked like number 25, Jayton Stuckey jumped the screen pass right there, almost came up with an interception.
Yeah, he read that all the way.
That's one you kind of wish you could have back as a quarterback, maybe just get away from the pressure, get rid of the ball.
That's the one you just kind of throw at their feet.
Got a little lucky right there. Jackson Arnold, still young, still got some things to learn. You got to think that having Eli to play behind is only going to do him good.
It's definitely like a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers role where he's got someone he can kind of look up to, and hopefully he's learning a lot from him. So they're going to punt it on 4th and 11. High booming punt, and it looks like it's going to take a Wildcat bounce about the 25-yard line. You got
another good punt by Christian Horn, and someone who might fly under the radar. Christian Horn.
And after the game, stay tuned for the post-game show as we'll be giving you our thoughts and feelings about this game, this round 3 game here from beautiful Globe Life Park here.
See another good punt, Luke, by Christian Horn. And all game, it doesn't really seem like the Wildcats have really had to worry about field position. That's a big position to play, punter, when you can really do it well and benefit your team.
Yeah, it's good to have our offense and defense working, but you never mind having the special teams, some guy who can flip the field really easily. And here's a shotgun snap. He's going to roll out to his right, looking to pass, and it is great pass to number 19, and he's still loose. Pass midfield, number 19,
Nate Ceballos, and wow, though, big hit down here on Jahari Houston by number 8, Logan McDermott, just as he get rid of the ball. And I'll tell you what, if you're 24 and you don't play quarterback a lot, that definitely that wakes you up to the position right there.
Shotgun pass and another quick one Oh, and it is blown up by, looked like Jordan Eubanks.
Big hit number there. Number Jordan Eubanks right there. Another play by him, and you just love to have him back.
Yeah. Huge big time players make big time plays in big time games, and that's just what
games.
And that is what he's done all game long. And it looks like in the shotgun, kind of taking their time. 1:14 left. This is just kind of for Hart right here, some integrity. And he's got, looks like a QB draw. And he is sacked by
Cooper
number
Lance.
7, Cooper Lance.
Another big player on that defense.
Yeah, you can hear. Student section still here and supporting.
You love the Coop chants, man, and been hearing those for a couple years now. Great player. Going to be sad to see him move on, but only great things ahead for number 7, Cooper Lance.
It's going to be interesting when he goes against his big brother, who's a lineman at TCU. I'd like to see that play out.
John Lance playing tackle. And you know what? Finally good healthy this year and made a lot of starts. Played really, really well.
Played
TCU
really well,
ended up winning, I think, 5 or 6 games in a weird year.
Yeah, not bad for a weird year and a COVID year. So here's the shotgun snap. 32 seconds left. They're going to roll out, and it looks like
Snap took him to the ground, ruled him down in the backfield.
The clock is still ticking. They got 24, 23, 22 seconds left. And Rick Thurlkill will be back shortly to discuss post-game thoughts with John Piper.
Got a timeout by Abilene with just 19 seconds left here to go in the game. Geyer up by 17 points, 38-21. And it's been a really complete show from the Geyer Wildcats right here on all facets of the ball, offense, defense, special teams. And you've been really impressed. If you're a Geyer fan, you like what you see.
Boy, Rick, you're back in this hot seat. Man, what a great job Camden and Luke gave us a little break. I don't think people realize when we're on our feet for 3.5 or so hours, it's kind of nice to have a little break.
Yeah, it was really nice, and Luke, you did an excellent job there. What was going to be a series or two, we just decided to let him go. So you guys did a great job. I'm going to close this thing out here, John, and we'll set the tone maybe for next week, as it looks like this thing's over, and then I'm gonna wrap up the post game thoughts with Camden, and last 19 seconds to go here, and it's 4th down and a country mile, and Houston's going to take it and drop straight back and looking, and he's going to throw deep, and it is incomplete, and Jaden Powell puts an exclamation point, Camden, on the end of the game there as he knocks number 7, Frederick Johnson, down with a solid lick there as the ball flies. And
it looks like that'll turn it over on downs, Dad, and I think you'll get a quick knee right here from Eli Stowers, and that'll be it. Guys going on to round 4.
Yeah, and next week's opponent is Prosper. We'll talk about that. We'll be back and wrap this thing up. We'll talk about this game, and then I want to get your thoughts on the Prosper game too. And then whoever's lucky enough to triumph from that thing is more than likely looking at Cedar Hill in the semifinals. So you got some really interesting spots here. It gets a little bit chippy there at the end of the game. You hate to see that.
And you hate to see it, but you know what? At the end of the day, young kids right here, and they're thinking back to their summers and their 8th grade years, early high school years, and just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that they give into these programs. And when you start to see that clock tick away and your last high school days, are fading away, it gets tough. It's a real emotional time, and you see these kids get a little chippy in times like this. You got to just,
Yeah, it looks like smarter heads have prevailed, cooler heads here, and it really didn't get out of hand too much. 3 seconds left to go in this ball game, and I don't know whether they'll start the clock or whether the Wildcats will have to run a play and take a knee here, but assuredly the next play will be the last one of the game. And so we'll wrap this thing up like we do always. This time, uniquely, I have you with me when I do this. We always end the game talking about Living for Zachary. Such a special organization. Obviously, it's special to our family, special to you. But tell me a little bit about your personal take on the saga and how it came, and then turn this thing over to your mom to do the promo.
Well, the first thing I will say is that it's really a silent killer. It's one thing that flies under the radar that a lot of parents and families and kids, for that matter, just aren't really educated enough about.
Number one killer of high school students and athletes in America.
It's a very sensitive subject for a lot of people. I know for me, I've met a lot of families, a lot of parents, who weren't as fortunate as maybe you or mom was, and their kids weren't quite as fortunate as me. I'm blessed enough to have gone through a successful surgery, but a program like Living for Zachary is the one who provided that to me.
Tell them what they do, Cam.
So you get a lot of free screenings around the Metroplex. Obviously, you don't have to go to a free screening. You can pay for your own screening, but basically, essentially, what Living for Zachary does is they'll give you an echocardiogram and they will screen your heart. They'll check for deformities, congenital defects, etc. down the line. I'm not a doctor, educated so well in the medical field, so there's only so many
but it's not
words and terminology that I could use. But I will tell you that what they do is they screen, your heart, your organs, the inside of your body, and they see how everything is working.
They also provide AEDs.
AEDs, yes.
CPR training to all organizations, not just high schools, but youth organizations, fire stations,
yes,
volunteer areas.
And I feel like a big misunderstanding, too, about the program and really just getting screened in general is the fact that, the target demographic is young athletes, when in reality, it's not. This is a thing that really, in my opinion, all
young
children
people
should do. Athlete, not an athlete, singer, you dance, you play an instrument.
All young high school
like
kids.
This is just because it really is a lifesaver. It saved my life, and it could save your kid's life. And I will say, if you're on the fence about it, it's something that you should really look into.
Well, let's hear from your mom right now.
I'm Liz Thrillkill. Did you know sudden cardiac arrest is the #1 cause of death on school campuses? Living for Zachary is on a mission to change that, one kid at a time. Living for Zachary provides youth heart screenings for kids ages 12 through 22 and donates AEDs or automated external defibrillators to youth-based organizations. When it comes to your kid's heart, there's not a reason to wait. Geyer High School is a proud partner for Living for Zachary. My son Cam is an example of early detection. Living for Zachary and his heart screening from Living for Zachary may have saved his life. To find out more and register for a heart screening, visit livingforzachary.org and click on screenings. Do it today and go Wildcats.
All right, let's before we wrap this game up and talk a little bit about our game next week at Prosper, let's throw this thing over to John Piper for today's statistics. Let you know what it looked like on paper.
Yeah, actually, a lot of offense put up today. Geyer with the final score, 38-21 win. First down, Geyer with 20 first downs to Abilene 16. Total yards, Rick, Geyer racks up 428, 245 passing, 15-28 yards per pass, almost 9 yards per pass. Eli Stowers had some big plays open, just couldn't quite connect with his receiver. 183 yards on the ground, 34 rushing attempts. Good job on the penalties, only 4 for 35 versus Abilene had 1 for 10, and both teams had 2 turnovers. Leading rushers for Denton Geyer, Eli Stowers, 11 carries, 111 yards. Tyon Aldridge, 15 carries, 49 yards, and 1 touchdown. B.J. Phillips, a little off today, 7 touches, 27 yards. And that will do it for your Geyer Wildcats.
Yeah, I wonder if, Captain, B.J. got dinged up a little bit in that first half. I don't think we saw him in the second half at all.
Yeah, you really didn't see a lot. And that does make you think. You got to think Webb might have felt pretty confident about this game, and you got a big player like B.J. Phillips might just think, well, we'll let him rest. Didn't really ever feel like that game was really a threat. So
yeah, so quickly on this one, 38-21. Game was really never – I don't want to say it was never close, but it was never really in
certainly never worrying.
No, it wasn't. It was really never in contention. Let's call it that.
Good
they had at least a score lead the entire game. Obviously, Abilene, we saw, was a little bit limited on offense. But Geyer made some big plays, but they missed some big plays too.
Yeah, one thing I will say is you like to see Eli Stowers, be able to throw the ball a little more this week. You got a lot of receivers be able to make plays. You got a big-time 4-star quarterback, and I feel like that's something you haven't seen from Geyer these last several weeks. And Eli did miss a little bit, but I think you heard John say 245 yards through the air, and that's a great number.
Yeah.
You got to think, too, with the addition of BJ maybe next week and Eli carrying the ball so well, opening up the passing game certainly does make Geyer look a little more threatening, and that's something that we haven't seen recently.
Yeah, and I think the win, like we said, that really played a big role today because he just seemed to be off a hair on several of his long passes. But we did see a couple of big plays, a couple of big touchdowns. Let's move this thing forward to next week with Prosper. We played them a few weeks back. It's probably been about 4 or 5 weeks now. Was an unbelievable game. Geyer won on the last play of the game. I guess technically Geyer never led in the game. I think because they won on the very last play from scrimmage down there with a touchdown to beat Prosper late. Prosper, one of the most sound teams I think we've played. Tremendous defensive football team, and they're hard-nosed. They run the ball. They don't make a lot of mistakes. I think you're probably going to see a game somewhere in the mid-20s. I think if someone gets to 35, it will be surprising to me. So what do you think the keys are next week?
You got to think, protect the football. First of all, you had some turnovers today, and Geyer was able to outmatch Abilene athletically. And so I think that might not have been as big of a deal this week, but like you said, next week, Prosper. Very sound football team, very sound defensively, and so you got to think if you start giving the ball away and giving up possessions, it's really going to come back to haunt you. But, I mean, you still got to like what you see from this Wildcats football team right now, and there's a lot of weapons on that field. But one thing they're going to run into next week is a Prosper football team that coming off of round 5, last year, and going to be awfully motivated.
Confident.
You think. That's what I'm saying. Got a early loss this year to Geyer, very close. I think field goal at the end of the game to win, and so you got to think that they're going to be awfully motivated. I know we played Cedar Hill twice last year, and coming into that second game, first half, man, they had our number, and it was difficult. Playing a team twice in the same year is beating a team twice in the same year is a really tall feat. If anybody's going to do it, Geyer's done it before. You got to like where they're at right now, but certainly going to be a dogfight next week.
Well, I agree. And my last take, I agree 100% with Camden on the big plays tonight from Geyer, though. That was nice to see. Certainly we saw a lot of it earlier in the year. The last few ball games, not as much. Have been sort of ground out, punch them in the face, kind of run over people late in the game. John likes to call it the chloroform thing that he heard from Coach Webb. But tonight, it was nice to see some big plays, some exciting plays to show that Geyer can score from anywhere on the field. They're certainly going to need some of those next week. I just don't believe you're going to see a lot of long, 10, 12 play drives against that Prosper defense. They just don't give you a lot of room. You have to make big plays to win that game. It will be tough to win twice. Now, we don't know yet, Camden, where the game's going to be held. Might be back here. I know in past when we've been opposite a team that's a long way out of town, you get two choices, right? You either agree on a halfway spot or you flip head-to-head. Now, last year, we flipped, right, head-to-head with the Houston team.
Right, and we ended up having to go all the way down there to really just play in their backyard.
Yeah, and then and showed them the Geyer way, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, I hope that happens next week. Any parting thoughts, Cam?
One thing I want to say before we head out, I just want to tip my cap off to this Abilene football team. One, you got their coach, as John mentioned, going through chemotherapy, which – to be here and to be present as he has been with this football team all year is just a testament to the type of strength that he must have. And you know what? If you're a young kid and, your mind's being developed and influenced by role models and people, with authority and your head football coach is coming to work every day because he loves those kids so much and he wants, nothing but success for them.
battling
through
cancer.
chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Just gives me the chills, and I wish nothing but, health and positivity in all these kids' lives and their head coach's life, and playing without their quarterback. And I saw nothing but just hard-nosed football, 100% from these kids all day. And that's what high school football is about. That's what the playoffs are about.
It sure is. All right. Thank you. From Globe Life Park, this is Rick Threlkill for my partner, John Piper, for my son and part-time partner today, Camden Threlkill, and Luke Piper. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Again, the huge game between the Prosper Eagles and the Geyer Wildcats.